Hello and welcome to Down by the Gram on Cam with me, the Grandmaster Kush, talking all things Amsterdam, coffee shops and everything from the cannabis community. Joining me as always, I have my co-host, the Fade Fairy.
Hello.
You all good?
Yes.
Little break, new studio.
Little break, back in it, yeah.
So
nice
it's not, if you only came for the view, we haven't got that anymore, so you might as well tune out now. But apart from that, everything else will be the same.
Yeah,
plenty of weed, plenty of talking shit.
Yeah.
And this week we have Mr. Fudge from Highest Fudge.
Hello everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Nice to be here.
And before we get started, we've got a word from our sponsors, 21 by 20, life summed up. So you can pick between a snapback or a beanie.
I'll go snapback. I love a snapback.
Yeah. Oh, pass them down that snapback.
Fresh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
21 by 20, life summed up. They're not on general sales. They're just for the smoking elite of high society. But if you want your chance to win one, you can like and share this video to your Facebook or Instagram, and then comment underneath what 21 multiplied by 20 equals, and we'll send the hat out to the winner.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get started, I'm going to ask you 4 questions in 20 seconds to see what kind of smoker you are.
Let's go.
So, weed or hash?
Weed.
Sativa or indica?
Sativa.
Rolled or in bowls?
Rolled.
And what was the first coffee shop you ever smoked in?
Cafe Bubba.
On Varmerstraat back in the day? Or nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I was ever in it. It was always too busy when I was.
Oh, was it? And I remember walking in there, my eyes lit up. It was because I come out the station. And then the grass
down that little
there,
street. That's my end. That's like the bridge to Amsterdam for me. Yeah. Once you go by that grasshopper, it's like a little just a drawbridge, and then you're into the madness. But Baba's, and you know what? Back in the day, there was so many coffee shops on that street. I never thought of going, I must get to this one. I'm like, what's empty? Oh, let's go in here. So I don't think I ever got into Baba's because it was always rammed. But I've been in the new one, obviously, a few times. Yeah. Now it's half plug, half Baba's. But what year was that then?
That would have been 2016, 15, 16.
Okay, that would have been just before it closed down then. Because
just before, because the next time I come back it was closed. I've only ever smoked in there once and been in there once.
I came in here
and then it was shut for a while, and now it's like
the
a
whole
restaurant.
Varmerstraat got shut in one day. They came around, just closed them all down. It was. And I remember I came back here, I think it was January 2016. I'd come back from Thailand, and we came back, and I was staying on Varmerstraat. I was like, right, we'll get one right on the street where all the coffee shops are. Me and my mate walk up and down the road, like, where the fuck are all the coffee shops gone? Literally for about half an hour, couldn't find weed in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I've been here loads of times. I know everywhere. Prix de Me was the first. I'd never been to Prix de Me before. It was the only coffee shop you could find because Varmerstraat was gone. Like, you know what I mean? I never left the Varmerstraat back in the day, and even then there was.
But that would have been the tourist.
Oh yeah, but even on the red light there was.
Light,
you know what I mean? Around the old church, there was all the way across. It was. You know what I mean? Yeah. So do you know the tattoo parlour?
Yeah.
That was a coffee shop. The kebab shop behind it was a coffee shop. The old church bar was a coffee shop. Bulldog, there was so many coffee shops around there. And then on the red light, you had the red light bar. I think Excalibur used to sell weed, like everywhere. From Varmerstraat to red light, from Varmerstraat to the Newmart was coffee shops. We never even went on to Newmart because there was that many coffee shops.
And then
I
that's
found
like
it once.
our main
you know
spot,
what I mean?
Newmarket, Rembrandt.
I remember finding the comic book store years ago. Me and my mates still talk about it. Going, do you remember that comic book store on that random square we found? It was just because the red light. We'd follow the red light, and then when it went down the next lane, we'd keep going. So we never went up. So do you know what I mean? We'd come down up as if you're going to the Joker. Then we turn right down that middle lane and back down onto the red light. So because we were doing laps of the hookers, we didn't think of. Let's go up here where there is no hookers. And one time we did, and we found Newmart, and that was the one and only time before I moved here that I was ever on Newmart. Like, it's crazy.
Shit.
Yeah,
no, because you think you've walked miles of the city, and then when you move here or you get familiar with it, and you look at the map, you're like, okay, I've only been here.
So even when I was starting the Joker,
and it's a small city, it's a tiny city, like.
When I started in Joker, I didn't know how to get to Rembrandt, so I used to walk the damn square and then go up around the curve. So literally, instead of walking a straight line, I'd go that way and that way.
That would take you like.
It's the only way I knew to get there. You know what I mean? Then I looked at the map one day and go, there's a fucking direct line from literally, it's only up the road.
As the crow
flies. I was going around the city doing laps, like, it's crazy.
But it is, like everyone's like, what's it? Rome's built in like straight lines
Yeah.
or something. Amsterdam is
Oh,
like
it's a
built
pure
in
curve.
dimensions.
You think you're heading east, and next thing you're west. You're like, what the fuck just happened there?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember the road turning.
You know what I mean?
It's just that gradual bend constantly, and
Yeah.
next thing you're going the opposite way. The sun's in your face, next thing's in your back. I don't think I'm going the right way anymore.
But it's a beautiful city.
It
We
is.
love it.
It's like
That's why
nothing else,
it's
you know what I
why we
mean?
keep
It's
coming back. It's like a second home, isn't it?
It's the most
Yeah.
unique city in the world, really. You know what I mean? For so many reasons, with the canals, the streets, the weeds. Well, it's not as unique anymore, but for so long there was nowhere like it. You know what I mean? It
But
was
with the
crazy.
social aspect
Yeah,
of
no,
it.
100%.
Like that's the thing. We're always still Amsterdam's always still in the loophole, but anyone that smokes, they always whenever they come into a coffee shop, they're like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Just to be able to come and meet people, like going for a beer or something.
Yeah.
Just going for a joint. You know what I mean? Not back in your living
Yeah.
room hiding away smoking on your balcony.
That's what I tell
It's
the
like-
Americans. I go, your weed is better, but you come here for the social aspect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally,
Like so.
that
I think it's a
tops it.
bucket list.
Yeah,
like a lot,
100%.
like for a lot of people, like who
Yeah.
like to travel, want to see the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people, even if they're not avid smokers, will want to come to Amsterdam
No,
just to have a
100%.
joint.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it
it's-
has
do you
so
know what
many
I
different
mean?
things.
Like-
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
It's a
music.
European city.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It has art. It has culture, and there's weed there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, just close over them windows. Actually, just keep the noise reduction down. So tell us more about your fudge.
Okay, yeah. So
You brought us some along.
brought some fudge along. So we at Hires Fudge are
I'll let
a
you
edibles
talk,
and vape specialist. So we create edibles for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
Anything from cookies, fudge. We do lollipops, gummy bears,
Nice.
infused oils, honey.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
another one.
So like stuff for people who don't want
so,
sweet, like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
so
Put
you
it in your
can-
tea or something.
Exactly that. You can put it in your tea, have it on toast with the oil. You can drizzle it on your pasta. You know, you
Nice.
you can cook with it.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful.
there, and so at the moment, like I've got a rosemary, garlic, and truffle oil,
Oh, wow.
infused oil. You know,
Yes.
and it's great. It's summertime.
Yeah.
In the
Banging.
winter time, I'll change that up for something else.
Okay,
maybe
yeah,
to
yeah.
pour over your spuds for a roast dinner. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's
Like
crazy.
that's,
Season.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's yeah. I try and offer solutions for people,
No,
whether
listen,
they
you
want to
get sick
eat it
of eating
themselves.
muffins and brownies and all,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I mean,
so
I love chocolate. I love sweet things,
Yeah.
but I am past the point of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
and for
Don't
us, we
kill
need
it.
so
Yeah.
much of it just to get high. So you know what I mean? It'd be
Yeah.
nice to if I could have my main course and my dessert
Yeah.
with a bit of weed. in
Yeah,
there,
so
you know?
mine. Yeah, so we'll get some open, have a little taste. So I've brought you some along. So we have
Is there a selection in here?
this is all one. This is a Terry's chocolate orange with tonka bean shavings
Okay.
and vanilla extract in there.
Oh wow!
I'm a little bit weird on Terry's chocolate orange. So I will take a bite because it looks beautiful as an actual like piece of chocolate.
This is quite rich, very very rich.
You want
You
it
so
yourself?
I'm good. I have an abundance of
How
them.
do you?
Yeah.
So these are great. You can have these straight out. I recommend everyone to keep them in the freezer at home.
Yeah.
And you can just eat them straight out the freezer. Even get a lot of people asked just to have them without anything.
Yeah, no,
in,
honestly, the
because-
texture is beautiful.
So a big thing for me is with edibles and with speaking to people about edibles is they have bad experiences with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very negative, and a lot of that is down to people and patience, but also not knowing the weight and what's in it and how much is in it. And also, ingesting cannabis is a lot different to smoking
Just-
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so different.
So different.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
so if
it just
you're not
hits.
It
if you're
goes
not
up your body,
educated
yeah.
on it, and that's that's not me sitting on a high horse. If,
Yeah.
if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just tried to go out there and just help and explain people.
Yeah. And would you have strength
And
ranges?
so I have a base range.
Yeah.
How that works is the fudge we do. You get 6 blocks in a pack, and the pack's 300 milligrams in the pack.
Nice. That's a lovely way
Yeah.
to break it down. Yeah.
So a lot of people only start with just a nibble or half a square.
Yeah.
I recommend half a square. Wait 20 minutes. If you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Have another quarter. Wait 40 minutes. You should be
Yeah.
pretty good by then. And then so depending on you come and talk to me and I'll help you if you want something that will blow your socks off,
Yeah.
we can do that. If you want something with a little bit less, that you
Yeah.
want to chill and still
Yeah,
do day to
nice.
day,
It
we
does,
can.
yeah.
We can just help you along
That's
with that.
like-
Everyone's different, and
Yeah.
that's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It
we'll
is,
get
even
get
your
that part.
diet,
Yeah.
everything is different. What
And-
did you eat before? Everything. yeah.
Exactly that. So we explain to people, what's the best way for them to take it? Well, I like to take it on a full stomach personally, but that takes longer to kick in. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
If you grab a bite of that out first thing in the morning, it's going to hit you like a brick.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
It depends what you've done that day. If you've
For
gone to the
definite.
gym, if you've got a job that is quite physical, come the end of the day, if you have that, your body's still burning calories up because it's been
Yeah.
doing stuff. Again, it will kick in quicker. You'll feel it a lot more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be ready to take edibles. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just
Yeah.
something that you can take.
Yeah, for
forget
sure.
about it.
Just a munch.
You have to allocate a good amount of time.
Yeah.
for
And with
it.
the likes of that honey and stuff, they can definitely, like someone who just wants a little bit
Okay.
at night, you know what I mean, help
Yeah,
them
just to
sleep,
have
you know
a
what I mean?
teaspoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do over at our end. We obviously do vapes as well. I do distillate capsules for people to take as well. Which
Okay.
is
It's
just,
like the
Oh,
orzo
just
oil.
yeah.
or-
No, so this is just distillate oil. So this is.
Okay.
So I've looked into how it's made, and basically it's stripped back to about 95% THC that comes in
Okay.
like a thick oil.
Okay, like a syrupy kind of.
Yeah, like you
So
can't
it
squeeze
needs
it
to
out
be
of a
in
syringe.
capsules.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to like warm it through. And whatnot,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the equivalent of a capsule is like eating one pack of fudge at a time. Which
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah.
Do you know
For
what
the
I mean?
amateurs, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend, but it's an option. I mean, I had one. And not me for 6. So I was in 420 in Hyde Park.
This year?
No, this was 2 years ago.
Okay.
And yes, I got off the coach and I'd had it on the coach. It was like I was walking on marshmallows.
Oh, yeah.
Never felt, but it was wavy.
Yeah.
Then I come to this moment,
That's
I
the
thought
thing,
I was
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I thought
What
I
a
was
way to
all
walk
right.
into the park, like, you know what I mean, into the
Yeah.
smoke session.
So I was like, before I even got there, I was like, I've got to go to McDonald's. I'm starving. So I bought like 20 quid's worth of McDonald's and stood in a window, and it must have been like the freak show eating in the window.
On
I'm
display.
smashing
Yeah.
this McDonald's back.
Oh,
Get to
your
Hyde
body
Park.
doesn't care. Yeah.
Sit down with everyone, and next thing I know, I'm asleep on the floor. Just absolutely asleep. I've got my phone in my hand. I'm lying back.
No
like
way.
this. My friend who I was with, his girlfriend at the time, had to come and find us. She only found him. He'd fallen asleep as well. She only found him through the Find My iPhone
No
thing.
way.
Like, I had to find him.
Till you
I said,
spooning
"Yeah."
on the ground.
Out for the
Happy
count.
420.
So 420 comes, everyone makes a cheer. I attempt to stand up. I couldn't even stand up.
No way.
And this was a whole day. This is, I was
like
on the coach on the way back.
It's like getting too drunk before New Year's Eve and you miss
was-
the 12 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Exactly
It's only
that.
4:20. Fuck it, I don't care.
So I offer options like that, but I also have options something that are a lot less.
Yeah, for people who are
less,
just
starting out,
Yeah.
or they,
Yeah, most people who come into my
low
shop,
tolerance.
I tell them my edibles are medium, they're for beginners, and they're like, no, I want lighter. You know what I mean? I have to convince more people that they're not too strong than these are the strongest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some shops you go in and go, these are the best edibles ever.
It's even so they don't get that placebo effect.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think that's what happens to a lot of people. If you're not with people you're comfortable with, if you're anxious about it already, and then you
Get in your
consume,
head.
you start building up
No.
with anything. It's your brain is so much more powerful than cannabis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So I think by you even giving them that, being like they're light,
Yeah.
then going forward, if they do feel it,
I tell them there's more chance you're feeling nothing than feeling too much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're like, oh, we'll have half, or we'll split one between 4 of us. Like you're not feeling anything there, mate. You know what I mean? I always joke. They're like, oh, how many? Like I'd say to them, I can eat like 50 of these. They're like, oh, okay, then maybe I could eat half of one. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so bad.
It's a bit of trial and error that people have to go through
Yeah.
with it as well.
Yeah.
Like I'll get it to the point where we can work along a scale.
Yeah.
You know, but you will go over at some point whilst you work it out.
Yeah, of course,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And
Once
everyone's
you're guided, you feel
comfortable
comfortable
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know where you stand. I mean,
Literally.
with myself, I only have one square of fudge.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I'm-
And
yeah,
you're happy
yeah.
out.
I'm
Yeah, nice.
absolutely.
Do you know what we find
It's
out?
so
with-
many
I'm great.
edible makers
We
are
have a
that
friend.
way.
She can't take more. She makes edibles, dabs all day. 50 milligrams. That's her limit. You know what I mean? And we're like,
She's
what the
not
fuck?
going out that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not
And we're
moving.
there fucking hundreds, thousands. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
No, I would be, everyone's built different. That's the great
no,
thing.
100%.
But also, you've got to respect that you are built different from everyone else. So your experience might not be what someone
100%.
else's experience is. Especially when it comes to the edibles.
No, definitely.
So
It's
I
hard
remember
to-
we had one guy on. It was our first one, and he brought on a load of stuff, but he did have syrups and all sorts. And I did go walk the dog, and at one point I did feel mad sketchy. I never get paranoid.
On your own, like.
Oh, I was pure spooked with Odin. I was walking the dog. I was like, man, I need to get back home.
If that was the first one, that's the one I gave him edibles too. So he was stoned later that day.
Oh, the
as well.
cues are probably
I ended up
fucked.
giving the dog some avocado and salmon. I forgot it was infused. Later he was just like, he was just wobbling on
Like
it.
a stink innocent.
Oh, it's so funny.
No, he's pure like.
I'm sure my cat has jumped off the side and nibbled a bit of my
Yeah,
fudge
100%.
before. 100%,
think
because
they
he was just
know.
chilled. Like, so
Yeah.
I've got a Sphinx cat, a little
Okay,
a bold
yeah.
cat. They're high maintenance, high energy. Like, they need to be played with. Like,
Yeah.
they run around a lot. And when he's chilled, it's either because he's run around a lot or something's not
He's
right.
run
And
around.
that day, I'd walked in and I was like, I saw something brown on the carpet. I was like, what is that? I was like, it's one of them pooed. And I was like, as I got closer, I was like, it's Fudge, the little shit. And I know I've got two cats, but I know it's only the one of them that does it. And that lady's just chilled out, bless him, like loving life. I was like, well, I'll give the other one some catnip. You just chill out as well.
One's
now.
wired, the other- it's like sativa and indica. One's bounced off the walls. The other's like-
Literally.
So yeah, he got into, remember, I think it was Let's Get Baked Bits, Caramac bar. I think you had that as well. It was, I think, 150 milligrams he must have got through. So he's fucking, it's a serious dose. For a dog that size, most humans can't take that.
Yeah.
That's a
But
big
like
whack.
he didn't.
Yeah, he was
stop.
proper, just like swaying. It was
And
like,
when he went to go forward, his leg was go backwards.
Yeah.
It was like the opposite way.
I say he was just so confused. Like, he's like, what the fuck's
it's-
happening right now?
But I think they have, again, like I'm not recommending at all giving your dog
Yeah.
edibles, but they do have an endocannabinoid system
Oh, of
as
course,
well.
yeah. So it's
more,
not poisonous to them for
no,
sure. Anyway.
it's not going to kill them. They are going to get a bit wavy. They might get sick in that way. But I'm hearing a lot more people using like CBD more.
For
For
dog
pets,
treats and
yeah.
stuff, yeah. I've
Not
heard that.
just dogs, horses,
Oh, yeah,
cows,
yeah.
like farm
But
animals.
especially if they've arthritis or any sort of
Anything,
bad
yeah,
bones and all
dogs,
this.
everything. Just very, very. Now, again, do your research, get proper stuff.
Yeah.
And there is even.
Don't give them a human dose. Like.
Somalia experience, they as well have animal like CBD products as well.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. So it is starting to come in.
I remember
It's gonna be very
CBD Madness
beneficial
had a few of
for-
them as well. I've seen them in a few shops. They were at one of the conventions we were at. One of the. I haven't been to many of them, so I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing one and did a whole stall set up like CBD dog treats and all this stuff for dogs. Oh, it was Jack Herrer.
Oh,
Woodland
it
the
could
other
have
year,
been,
yeah,
yes,
that's where it was. I remember in one of the back rooms they had
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
out
thing
at
for dog
Jamie
treats and
Tom's.
stuff.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like even with yourself, with the variety you're bringing from oils to sweets to savoury,
Yeah,
That
it's
is
important to
something in the
give
market.
a good bit of option, and also we can change that throughout the years, and then that's also weather
Yeah.
dependent because everything we send out goes, unless you're local, will go out on the post.
Okay, so it might
in the-
melt, it might.
So yeah, so in the summer months, so we'll run Fudge all year round. And then this sort of affects logistics of business. So we try and ask everyone to get orders in before 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everything is custom made for you.
Yeah.
We don't. That's,
Like-
You don't have them all
yeah.
in stock, like
No, no,
okay,
no.
nice.
So it's made on the it's made on the
On
day.
spec,
So
yeah.
yeah. Like you could
Nice, yeah.
sometimes you can if like someone's round the corner and wants some, you
Yeah.
can go from nothing to 40 minutes and then me in it.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
bang it in the blast, chill out, bosh.
Oh, so you have everything ready to go. It's
Got
just,
the ingredients, yeah. All the ingredients are in there. So yeah, I
It's
go
just-
to Booker's
Just put it
and
together.
sort of have to go and bulk buy
Like
a few items and
like a
whatnot.
stoner subway. Just throw it all together.
Yes.
What do you want? A bit more
Bosh,
THC, a bit
um,
more CBD.
Yeah, but it's a consistent thing because we offer quite a lot. There's
Yeah.
always a lot going on. So we
it's not like
yeah.
a
And
quiet
you say
kitchen.
we, is there a whole team?
So I've got a few other people that help me out,
Yeah.
and
Beautiful.
they mainly come up with some of the ideas
Yeah.
of
Nice.
sort of food. It's more the food side of stuff.
Yeah.
How we can do business a lot better, how we can push sales, how we can market, help, educate, and mainly help people whilst the world is going through shit
Yeah.
times, like fucking, we're going through a bit of an uncertain time in the UK at the
100%.
moment. You know, going through the general election that's coming up, which you know a lot of people talking about it. You know, so
intense.
it's
It's a
intense.
stressful time.
Yeah, cost of living crisis. Do you know what I mean? Is this going to be the end of it with change? Are we going to be fed another pack of lies? Like, people are worrying about that. So, you know, it's just we try and make things as easy as possible and as cheap as possible for people.
Nice.
So we run something called a flash crash, which is and I've been working with people to get their feedback on them.
Yeah.
So we put either a range of goodies together, so it could be like 3 fudge, 1 vape, or it could be 3 cookies and this and that.
Yeah,
and I'll
a little
just
variety pack.
Just drop the price like to a stupid price.
Okay, like half right.
And it's like and it's just first come first serve, bosh.
Nice.
And
Beautiful,
people just
though,
I have some people that wait, and sometimes they go within 3 or 4 seconds.
how do you
Someone's
announce
like,
it?
I've got that. Sorry.
How do you announce it? Like,
So literally, it'll be on Telegram. So I'll put a Telegram out now, and then I'll have a message come in. We'll do a
So there's
screenshot.
one
So
pack or
what-
2
one-
packs.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's gone.
First one in,
but it
first
keeps
one gets
people,
it.
keeps people entertained, interested.
And keeps them coming back to your page and keeps them,
if
you know
you're
what I mean?
giving,
Yeah,
like,
we-
them little presents
as
back,
well,
it's
yeah.
beautiful,
100%.
I'll slip in, like, someone the other day bought like 40 sweets. It was their first time. It was like, have 60. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, nice.
That is a beautiful mindset to have for business.
Yeah.
Because
Look
if you
after the
try-
customer and they'll look after you.
100%. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's it. Don't
Yeah,
be greedy.
I try and go above and beyond as much as possible for
Yeah.
everyone. Like at the moment, a big issue is costing of postage costing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'd say
if-
Brexit's
if
fucked you up
you
as
get
well,
all
hasn't it?
that, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I can't even justify some of the amounts of money I spend on postage. Like, because I see it from a user point of view. Is like if I wanted to buy something. And if it's a T-shirt or something, free. Like most places offer free postage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and suddenly you're paying fucking
yeah,
over the odds.
but now do you know what I mean? I try and swallow as much of the postage
The costs.
as possible.
Yeah.
But you know, when you send in quite a few things out, you
Yeah.
can get into the
Yeah.
Especially the further it
few
gets.
hundreds of pounds. Yeah, it's weight. It's all done on weight.
Okay.
So the more you order,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, the minute someone goes over like 150, I'm like, don't worry about the postage, I'll cover it. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then, but obviously it's a heavier.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
counteracting my job.
That's it. You get a big sale, but it's a big cost. So,
yeah,
yeah.
but do you know what I mean? There's there's enough markup.
You build
there.
that way as well, like for sure.
And it's like
Finding that balance.
it's finding a balance, and I treat it as a business. So there are lines of products that have high markups. There are lines of product that have minimal.
So there's stuff you're making on, and there's stuff you're just selling
like,
just to
so
sell. Like,
this isn't. I promise you, this isn't me trying to go off to the French Riviera in 5
Yeah,
years
yeah,
with my
yeah.
bags. That's not how it is.
Yeah.
I'm here to just make stuff for people. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? I
nice,
don't drive
man.
a flashy.
Yeah.
I don't even have a car at home. I walk I live in a city that's
yeah,
got
nice.
everything on my doorstep. No, I don't. I'm not on flashy
You're not in it
holidays.
for the money.
No,
Yeah,
man.
nice,
I
man.
want to
So
help
way most
people.
stoners
Get
are, you
people
know.
high,
Yeah.
yes, beautiful,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like if you're in the weed
should
world for
be.
money, you're in the wrong place.
But I
Like, you know what I
think
mean?
what happened, like, it was when the demand changed,
The
like in
legal
the last
thing.
few years. It's not even the last few years, like about 20 years. It's like it got more, like, coke industry got into the cannabis industry,
Yeah.
and it just started getting more money, more greed. Whereas before, it was the hippies and the stoners.
That's it. It was
And
all
people
give it out for free
trading.
and sharing
Here's
it and
this,
all.
and
But
you can
yeah.
have that and
You'll
that
find the
and-
better quality with that though. That's
Oh,
where,
of course,
that's
the
where
love
best
is put
stuff
into
is.
it. You know what I mean?
Because
The
it's
passion.
Yeah, but it's a-
literally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially, do you know what I mean, from the growers that love
Yeah.
watching seed to flower,
Yeah.
to the people that work
Yeah.
and
Would
make
you rather
make
that
my
or some
distillate, make
government
RSO
fucking
oil.
run, you know what I mean?
I know
Yeah.
people that have got like major sort of like lab setups and whatnot,
Yeah.
and for them they do it just for the love of
Yeah.
the plant. There's
Oh, for
no,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
that's what they enjoy
Yeah.
doing.
Imagine if
They got
you
their
could
science
do-
kick to them,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you know
they're the
they
people
love
who
that,
should
do
be
you know what I
doing
mean?
it, you know
I've
what
got
I
my
mean?
cooking side, but I also like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People got their gardening side.
Yeah, no,
do you
that's
know what I
it.
mean?
To
Like,
do
all
something
bring
you're
it
passionate
all.
about with something you enjoy at the same time, you know what I mean?
It's a
amazing.
goal. It's a goal I'd sort of try and tell everyone to try and
Yeah.
get to. If you can make your fucking hobby your job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'll never work a day.
Yeah,
in
you
your
already
life.
enjoy cooking,
Yeah,
add weed. You
you'll
already
never-
enjoy growing,
like,
add
yeah.
weed. You know what I
There's-
mean? Like,
I've
so.
never ever been disgruntled to make something for anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
You're not like,
even
"Oh,
when I'm
fuck's
having a bad
sake,"
day.
you know.
Like, I never ever am I like, oh, can't be bothered to.
Yeah,
Never
another
ever.
fucking
If I
order,
have
like-
my normal job, there's days where I don't want to go to work. Some
Oh,
days.
yeah,
Do you know
every
what I
day.
mean? Like, yeah.
Literally, it's the
And so I'm very lucky. I'm in a good place where I can work part-time at a normal job, but I've learned that I also need to have that social interaction with
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Do you know
of
what I
course,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And I know
you can
that.
get too close
Yeah,
to
even if I
people,
won the
you
lottery,
yeah.
I think I'd still have to go and work a couple of
Yeah.
days a week.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
to do something. You know
Just
what I mean?
like I think I know that now. I've got to that point in my life. I know that.
Yeah. But then
You
you
could
could
be
probably
doing and
set up your
going.
own kind of job. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
going working in your
Yeah.
place. You're still getting you out of the house for a few days. but
Bring
Exactly
it's-
that.
people to you.
Yeah, instead of working for someone else and getting told what to do and getting kicked out one day because they're not happy with you or something. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Yeah. So what were your guys' first experience with edibles like? Because I find most people's weren't the best.
I'm trying to remember my first. Do you know what? Actually, the first edible I can remember taking was probably my first time in Amsterdam when I came here. We went to the Jungle coffee shop. You probably don't know it. It was
I
across from
remember.
Sláinte. It had like a tiki hut inside,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
downstairs had 2 pool tables. So that's where we got it. My first coffee shop was there, but we bought weed, went to Sláinte, smoked my first joint in Sláinte, and then I think we went back over and smoked in the Jungle for hours. But we were down the basement, and it's low roofs, and they've all these like masks on the wall and shit.
Literally.
So me and my mate got a muffin each, sitting down there smoking, whatever, eating away and all. After a while, we're just stoned. You know what I mean? Proper. Like my first time in Amsterdam, I bought hash because I never even had weed before. So I was like literally smoking weed for the first time, edibles for the first time. At home, it was just shit, soap bar hash. So I remember us in there, and eventually it was like just weird music going on. It felt like a session at 6 in the morning when everyone's giving up on changing the tunes and everyone's just sitting around. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Just on repeat.
So it was like, come on, we'll get out of here. And we left, and it was like 4 o'clock in the day. The sun was out, and all we're like, what the fuck is happening here? You know what I mean? Stoned out ahead. You think it's like the middle of the night. You walk out, everyone's bustling around the place. The
You
sun
go
is
to
shining.
work
You're
and
like,
all.
okay, I don't know what's happening right now. But that was definitely my first rememberable experience. Because I don't think I had edibles in Ireland before. No, definitely not. Because I barely even got weed, so I just get shit hashed. There was definitely no edibles before I came here. So that was the first edible I can
I
remember
find
taking.
it's not a popular thing, as in it's not. People don't go for it straight away if they smoke. Do you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
just sort of
Yeah.
stick to
Most
it.
people that go for edibles are, I don't smoke, so I don't know what to do. I
But
want to do
that's-
Yeah, they
something.
don't
You know what I
wanna
mean?
smoke
That's a
tobacco,
great.
so-
That's something that I've noticed about. Is there are a lot of people that don't like. I'm not. Believe it or not, so only in the last month have I actually started smoking flower again.
Okay.
Like cannabis flower. I've been smoking oil.
And
for,
vapes the whole
just
time?
vaping for
Okay.
just oil for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Partially because it's a smell thing for me.
Yeah.
I love the smell of cannabis,
Yeah.
but I appreciate other people don't. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
And
Like,
especially back
Yeah, being somewhere where it's not.
and like, I'm respectful of people. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want the smell around me
Yeah,
as
no, I
much
get
anymore.
that.
So yeah, as I sit here smoking, do you know what I mean? How conscious, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but fuck
you
it,
go
that's
nose
living.
blind in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's too much smoke.
And so yeah, I sort of aimed that, and I knew when lockdown came, there were a lot of people that sat indoors. They wanted to smoke, but they were worried about the smell.
Yeah.
And then sort of a light bulb
Vape.
moment. Just was like, okay, what can we do to
Yeah.
help people? And there's like,
I'd say the vapes are popular.
Very,
Yeah.
they're picking up more and more,
Yeah.
more and more.
Because
So-
it is that, I don't want to smoke, but edibles are a bit crazy. What
Do
can
you
I
know-
do? You know what I
And
mean? And
especially with so many like cigarette smokers going to vape,
Yeah.
and even people that never smoked before,
Before.
smoking
People took up
nicotine
vaping,
vapes.
yeah.
These
More
things
discreet.
for an addictive person, these are terrible to have.
yeah,
right?
because you can
They're-
have them all the
Oh,
time.
Yeah.
Drink
So
down
I
the
love
day,
I
man.
love the ritual of when I used
Rolling.
to finish work, sit down, put my
Yeah.
tray on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Get a roll, smoke,
Yeah.
watch
No,
my
that's
stuff.
it.
And then I find now that is before I've even
Gone.
sat down, I'm in because I've puffed that on the way home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm already stoned before I've walked in the fucking front door, and it's like.
Yeah, there's no ceremony
there's
about
no
it anymore.
ceremony anymore, and it's like
Yeah.
it's so
It's a
convenient.
ritual,
So when people get them, they pick them up, and because all of a sudden now they don't
Especially
have
ready
2
to
minutes to
do,
roll,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
dot, dot, dot. They can do it indoors. They don't have to go outdoors.
Oh, you do it anywhere nowadays.
And then, do you know what I mean? They're great for
And
traveling.
nobody
if
would
you
notice
work
the odour
away.
on them, no?
No.
So you smoke
Not
that
with
in
all
the...
them mad
Yeah.
strawberry flavoured.
So you could be in the
Yeah.
middle of a smoking area or whatever and no problems.
Yeah, no problems whatsoever. We make that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
for
point
sure.
of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is lovely though. Like for people, if you want to go out with your friends to a terrace, they're having their glasses of wine, but you're a stoner. you can sit there, have your soft drink, and have a
and
vape.
Yeah, no,
And you're
for
not
sure.
impeding
Not-
with
Yeah,
anyone.
you're getting to socialise. You're still part of it.
You're
With our
still
vapes,
mixing, yeah.
So these are, I can market these as actually organic.
Okay.
believe it or not. So there's no vegetable glycerin in these. There's no PG in these. These are 100%.
Clean.
They're good for you. They're clean for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
So when you
Pure medicine.
yeah, it's pure medicine. And when you smoke the ones that you can get from like California. So I met someone yesterday at this event. She brought one over from Canada with her. 'Cause I was like, can we swap? I was like, I want you to tell me what you think of mine, and I'll tell you. And the minute I toked on that, I was like, it was
Feel it.
yeah.
horrid.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrid.
Was added
She had
with
the
all
time of
the-
her life
Yeah,
yesterday.
I can imagine.
She was like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those. When I looked into, when I wanted to start doing vapes, I was like, okay, we'll look into it. Okay, how's it made? How do I do that? Is it practical? Then I started looking at ingredients. Okay, vegetable glycerin. Okay, what's that? So I ordered a bottle of it.
Yeah.
Come in the post, and then on the front of it, it's like, what can you use it vegetable glycerin for? You can use it for bubble making. You can use it in food products. You can use it as a cleaning product. You can use it in e-cigarettes. And I'm like, do I really want to be putting that in my lungs?
This is what
Do you
you
know
should
what I
do.
mean? So that's
Cleaning.
all. Yeah. So all of those vapes that people buy, these disposable vapes,
Yeah.
we all know they're not good for you.
No,
Do you
of
know what I
course
mean?
not.
But there are alternatives out there with lesser
and that's
of
the
the evil.
good one that you're seeing. The
So,
vegetable
yeah.
glycerin, you know what I mean? What else are they
So
using?
So that's the vegetable glycerin is not in this one.
no
Okay,
VG,
yeah,
no
yeah.
PG. So this is just distillate and
Yeah, so
organic
they
terpenes.
give you a list of stuff you can basically clean with it, or else you can smoke it. Is what they're saying. Like
Yeah.
you can clean
Yeah.
this, you can do
You
that,
can
and
smoke
then
it. You can do it using like
Yeah.
soft play
It's like
toys. And it's
fucking
like,
bath
this is
salts,
mental.
really, you know what I
And
mean?
like, oh, why is
And
anyone?
everyone's just chugging on them.
Yeah.
Cotton candy flavors. It's like,
You see all these kids that never smoked a cigarette
Yeah.
in their
Or
life.
people
and
who were
they're all
off smokes for
vaping.
years, they're like, oh,
I'd
goodness.
rather my kid have a box of cigarettes than them
Yeah.
vapes.
Yeah. That's it, it's
At least I know what they're smoking,
Yeah.
what is in them vapes. They're coming from everywhere.
Like back in the day, cigarettes were classed as a healthy kind of thing for stress and all this. Then they go, actually, no, we're running back on that. So what are they going to say about vapes
Yeah.
in 20 years, 30
Oh,
years? You know what I mean?
man. Will they be around?
Fluid in
to
your
let us
lungs and
know?
all this
well,
stuff.
I know they're a big problem in the UK,
Yeah.
especially with kids. And I
Yeah.
spoke to a couple of people about it, and it's like when I was brought up, you're sitting around the family and someone was smoking, like, oh, go on then, let's try a cigarette. And they go, go on then, try one. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now, you have a couple, you're like, bleh, you know what I mean? You're 13, it's
Put them off
disgusting.
it.
They nearly
Now-
gave you pick whoever
Yeah.
is smoking the
And it's
strongest.
like,
Yeah, here's a major for you.
And now we're at the point where children's first experiences
Is
with
a tasty vape.
is a
Cotton
beautiful
candy.
cotton
Cola
candy
flavour
or
or
cola,
something.
and it's like these kids, that's their game over.
Yeah.
That is game over. There's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of people that tried a cigarette at 13 from our generation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
we're
That
like,
went
this is
no,
fucking-
and probably
you get
never
the-
ever
you get
touched
that
one again.
sick feeling, you
Yeah.
get that head
There's
buzz. They're like, oh, that was
Yeah,
horrible.
there'll be thousands and thousands, millions of people that
I remember
that did
even
that.
in my group back home, like smoking weed. Yeah, I was one of the very few. But even cigarettes, even the girls were very like, oh, you're smoking.
Oh, no,
So
most
that was
people I
in
knew
my
smoked.
age group. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It was the difference of times that people.
Oh
are
yeah,
like,
they've
"You're
been
not gonna
told it's
fuck-"
bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was born in
thought
a smoking ward. My mother, like literally, there was her bed and maybe 8 other mothers. The cot at the end of the bed, and every woman with a cigarette in their mouth, with their babies in their arms, newborns.
Smoking
A
wars.
smoking ward.
No way,
That's what I was
no.
born into, a smoking ward. Literally, my mum was breastfeeding me with a cigarette in her mouth, chatting to her one while she's having a smoke, breastfeeding her baby while all the other babies are asleep. In a hospital.
That's blown my
After
mind.
a newborn baby, it was a smoking ward.
It's mad, but
That's
like,
what, I mean,
my
how bad
brain
can it
can't-
be? if
That's
you-
what I was
you know what I
thinking.
mean?
I was like, how
if
bad
I was
is
born, newborn lungs, mass smoking on top of you, and they don't even question it.
And, like,
now
I
kids, you
don't-
walk by a kid with a cigarette, like, oh my God, watch the children.
And I
Like,
don't think that might have been changed by my time, but like I remember everybody in my family smoking as well.
yeah.
Everyone around the kitchen table was smoking.
And even in
And I know it's
shopping
not
centres,
good
you could
for you,
smoke.
but yeah,
Like, not in the
airplanes,
actual
buses.
shop, but they'd
Yeah,
have
restaurants had
they'd have
smoking or
ashtrays.
non-smoking, didn't they?
But
To
if you
what
went into a
table
shopping
you
centre,
decide,
do you know what you'd have the hall where all the shops are? They'd have ashtrays outside.
God,
So if you
yeah.
went to a clothes shop,
Yeah.
you put it in the ashtray there. But the outside was treated like you were outdoors.
Literally,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Even though you were inside the building, you know
I
what I
do
mean?
think I remember that
It
around
was
Blanche.
crazy. Yeah, sure. Look, I was in pubs just as they were starting to bring in the smoking ban. I think I was underage, but I was just in there. I remember even being in the pub, and you know the secret agents, you put your hash in their thing in the cigarette, and in the pub smoking a joint, like in the cigarette, and everyone's looking around. I'm like, where's that smell going? What the fuck is that? No, obviously nobody had a fucking clue, you know what I mean? But, so I got to smoke a joint in a pub before, you know what I mean? Not just a cigarette.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
like
love that.
it's
Yeah,
crazy
with
how
my
much
with
it's
my
changed.
vape, I try and it's like a personal thing to me. I like to have a little puff in random places where I wouldn't. Have, like, do you know what I mean? So like, have a quick puff on the tube when there's no one around me, or like, do you know what I mean? I'm in the airport. Have a quick puff.
Yeah,
in the
I done
airport,
it in
like,
skip all on the way home before. Like, yeah, perfect.
Have a quick one there. Yeah, I just want to different places. You know what I mean? If I'm in a museum, puff.
Yeah,
Like,
you've never got to smoke there before, never will again. Like,
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
yeah. Now my dream is one day on a private jet to smoke a joint on a plane. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's
100%. I enjoy travelling too much. I don't want to be put on no flight.
Yeah,
list.
no,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like there are some places I'm just not going to do it. Do you know what I
It'd be
mean?
nearly worth just all your mates chip in to get a plane from here to fucking Ireland or something, just blazing up the whole way.
Flying high.
It would
That'd
be
be
a good-
definitely that's on the bucket list.
Yeah. No.
Can we get crowdfunding going?
If you want to join, you can.
The
We'll
big
get as
donators
many
get to
on
come
it.
on the plane too.
Yeah, why don't we set up a lottery?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
hot
that'd be
box.
sick.
Yeah.
Start a new business.
It's, do you know what? And I've seen, like, do you know, you see all these mad reels and people talking about it. Some private jet companies aren't actually that expensive. Like, obviously, we're not going to
No.
afford it, but it's like from here to like maybe somewhere in Europe, it's only like 10 grand or 20
You
grand
can,
or
But
something.
you
you
like,
can get
I
over from
heard-
London to here for two and a half to 3
on a
grand.
private, like this your own jet, no one else on it. That's crazy.
You can get it. Honestly, there's lots of different options for them. I've got a couple of friends that are pilots.
Yeah.
And you can get good deals on like empty legs as well. So like,
Okay,
Isn't
yeah.
that when they're returning back?
yeah, it's like so.
Yeah,
Say for
I've
example,
heard
they've got to go pick up someone in Paris, and you happen to be going to Paris, but they have to go that way anyway.
Yeah, so like
They'd
fucking
rather
a few quid.
take
Yeah.
something than nothing. So you can sometimes get them
Nice, yeah.
nice and cheap.
Yeah, it's even now
Just
there's
book
probably
off
little
to a
websites and
random
all. Yeah, you're just
country.
getting
There
on.
is a website as well in the UK where you can get in like 2-seater and 4-seater planes with people that are just trying to get more air miles
Oh, yeah.
and whatnot.
Was some guy practicing?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know
no,
about-
they've got
I don't know about that,
pilots
so
with them and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
And like they'll take you from like little airports in the south
Yeah.
coast up to like the Midlands and stuff like that.
That'd be sick. Just for a day out,
Yeah,
like, you know
that
what I
would
mean?
be beautiful.
Definitely
just
take a
for
load
your
of edibles
views.
before that.
Yeah,
Just
just
sit looking out the window, get the
Do
vape
it.
out every now and again. What was that? Nothing.
Have to be done.
Pilots.
Yeah. Here, hit that. Do you want to do a loop to loop?
That'd be amazing. Yeah, just even the countryside of the UK and Ireland. Just to
Oh,
fly over
yeah.
that on a sunny day. Yeah, that'd be gorgeous.
Have you ever been in a helicopter?
Yes,
Helicopters are
once.
sick.
I was
think
lucky
so,
enough
no.
to go to Las Vegas quite a few times.
I was in Vegas. We done Grand Canyon.
Same.
Yeah, man,
stop
it's
talking
sick,
about it. It was my
yeah.
Christmas present. My mum said
Did you
that.
go down
to
into the
me.
ranch and all that
Sat
shit?
down, we had a picnic down at the bottom.
Oh, we went
I'll
to some
never
like
forget
old
it. Yeah, it
wooden
was
ranch,
lovely.
and it was like where the cowboys used to go, and they gave us like beans and all that, like a proper. And then we went horseback riding through the Grand Canyon and shit. It was savage.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'd say that was phenomenal.
They fly over the Hoover Dam and all with
Yeah,
the
it's
helicopter.
brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
And then we
amazing.
came back just as it was starting to get dark. And the
Oh,
lights
nice! You
come
got to see
on.
Vegas
Yeah.
lit up and all.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that city. Absolutely love
Yeah,
that
it's
city.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was meant to go in 2020, just as lockdown started. Me and my friends were meeting from some of them in Australia, America, Ireland. I was here. We were all going to San Francisco. Then we were going to Vegas. That was April 2020. March 2020, the world ended. So yeah, fucking. We got our money
mad
back,
expensive
but-
out there now,
Yeah,
though.
I can
Mad
imagine,
expensive.
Yeah.
We,
Resort
have you been there
fees
since
and-
dispensaries were in Vegas? No.
Nah.
That Planet 13, have you heard that one? Do you know
No,
Planet 13?
isn't that the drive?
It's
The big old
they've
one,
just
yeah.
or just added a lounge, a sit-in lounge. Yeah, so it's the world's biggest dispensary
No
with
way.
a sit-in lounge
Oh,
in
so is it
Vegas.
topped pre
Yeah.
me?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, well,
Because there was, I don't think there
I
was
don't know
anywhere.
seats-wise, but size-wise, it's like a fucking
but see,
warehouse.
dispensary, but they always had the biggest like coffee shop, social space.
Yeah. One
I've
day,
seen
yeah.
I've seen pictures of that dispensary. It looks
Yeah, it looks
and
unbelievable.
the products that they've got
Yeah,
there as well.
man, everything.
I'd
Like
I'd like
you
to
make
go
a few
over-
cooking things. They make everything you have in your kitchen
Yeah.
cabinet. They have it infused. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, salts, peppers,
Peppers.
oils, fucking.
Well,
You,
it's like a supermarket.
oh, you
nearly.
can get everything infused in America.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%.
which is great. So I have
Yeah.
for me, because I can infuse and whatnot at home, I invite people round. And then because I'm a cook, I like to cook really nice dinners. Yeah, so I do quite a lot of that. And I try and encourage people to do that as well for other, like your friends, because it's a nice social thing to do. Like cooking is a good thing. It brings people together. Yeah. It's nice, and why not get high and do it?
Yeah. Like definitely, like for stoners, you don't want to go out. People want to go out and have their bottle of wine, have their food. We'd rather sit in, have a joint, and get high with the food. So
and usually we have to finish our joints before.
Yeah, you're outside
and all, and then go in.
And it'll also bring more people in because there will be those odd people that don't smoke. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they might try the.
That's it.
And that's always
it gets too tasty, and next thing they're sitting there.
Yeah, I know. If I was hesitant,
that main course finished me.
I wouldn't be hesitant if someone gave me it in nice food over like a. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what we did a night with the Alpha Dining night. So we got a whole restaurant to ourselves. We had like 30 people or something, 20 odd people. Full 5 courses, infused from start to finish, and like it was a great night. You know what I mean?
See, a lot of people are shocked when they try my stuff because they're like, I can't taste any cannabis.
They're expecting that like space brownie.
Do you know what? Right?
I do like the traces.
Do you like it?
I love it.
I like to know I'm eating weed.
But that's important for a lot of people. One of my best friends says that.
It's the
It's that little terpene flavour.
You said that you never tried edibles at home. My first edible experience, we baked
your own
brownies at home.
Okay.
They were
so when you taste it, you remember that?
They tasted weedy as fuck, and I don't know what it is, but whenever we even
it is. I get it. I do get it. It's
the old school. It's like cheese.
I'm not gonna say no. Do you know what I mean? But also,
just you want to have that little flavour, a bit of terpenes, or just something in there to go. Yeah, this is a weed.
But
I don't mind if it doesn't.
That starts the psychological part off, though, doesn't it, for people?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
it gives me that kind of like.
Our tolerance is so high that we don't even get high off it. So if we're not tasting it and we're not feeling it, we're like, we should have just had a bag of sweets, like you know what I mean. So it's kind of. Well, at least when you taste it, you're like, right, I know there's weed in there. I mightn't feel it, but I know there is.
Yeah.
But I was telling him earlier, remember your man the other night, he gave me the edibles 600 milligrams. When he hands them to me, he goes, get ready to talk to Jesus or get ready to see Jesus or something like that. I just start laughing. I go, mate, if I even feel that off these 600s, I'll let you know. Didn't feel that off them, so I never text him back.
Yeah, that's a big whack.
Yeah, no, our tolerances are through the roof. It's ridiculous. Like as I said, 1,000 milligrams minimum just to feel it. I think, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I like to try and have a break every now and again. Just to have a little dip.
That has a big effect.
Yeah, we're non-stop.
I can't be like I even always tell people I think I have an indent in my fingers. I always have a joint in my hand. So even if like my joints are packed or heavy, my tolerance is constantly being like just fed. So I think then when I do even I was saying to him, I haven't been smoking as heavy the last while because I've been so busy. That I did have some edibles the other day, and I feel it in my stomach. So I'm not like blazed, but I know there's like that.
And how many milligrams would you have had?
I don't know. I don't count. I love edibles. And the people, like even yourself, your stuff is beautiful. The levels and the quality that come, like there's a...
That comes with sourcing the best ingredients. The price is high on... I only use Swiss chocolate. Like that's a flat out rule. Swiss chocolate's not available.
You don't cheap out on that. Like,
No. I'm looking into doing my own condensed milk so I could then... do everything as an organic product.
Oh wow!
Again, just giving it that option for people that want that.
Yeah, like I get people coming in looking for vegan and gluten free and all these different options.
Again, that's it. If you have an allergy, come talk to me. That's very, very important.
Tailored.
It is on all forms of communication with you.
Yeah, no, of course.
Any allergies, and we take processes at home, so we deep clean every day. We take temperature records. It's just so
treat it like a kitchen, like
it is. Because I keep it like my day job, just because that way I know it's a good standard, but also keeps me in the process that I hope that one day when it does go legal, I can just move.
Yeah, just
and open the
step
door
into the real world
and step into the real world with the processes there and the background knowledge.
And you have it all there, literally.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to go to a green light.
I'm hoping, especially with Germany, I'm really hoping.
Yeah, no, they're going to cause waves.
I think this is the 5 years.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
We've all
so.
been saying
Yeah,
it.
next
In the
5 years, next 5
I've
years.
been saying that since I'm like, once I started my first joint, I
Yeah.
was like, in the next 5 years. No, I think
This is the
now,
5 years, yeah.
There-
By 2030,
I'm hoping.
you know what I mean? That's 6 years.
I'm a
Give
betting
them
man.
extra
I'm a
year,
betting
you know what I
man. It would be good. And then, yeah, obviously with the
It'd
job
be
creation of
beautiful.
that for people, but also I think it's going to be a hard process to get
it's-
up going
yeah.
and like. So I don't.
The
I
biggest-
think bud will just become available. I don't think there'll be vapes available in the UK once it goes legal.
Yeah.
I don't think edibles will be available.
That- I was going to
I
ask
think
you
it
with
will
the
be-
medical, is there
Education.
edibles on the
There isn't.
Okay,
There isn't
that's what I
at
was
the
gonna
moment.
ask you.
At the moment, yeah.
Which is, see, it's the lack of
Education on the
Knowledge,
government
knowledge,
side.
education, but
And the
also.
greed. If they can't make money on it, what's the point in even bringing it in? like,
But from a
Yeah.
medical point of view, it has to say what it does on the tin. So if it's 300 milligrams of ibuprofen, it
Yeah.
needs to be 300 milligrams. Do you know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
when I make these, I am approximate with my weights, but that's only because I lose a little bit on the side on spoons
Yeah.
and round the bit of the bowl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If a bit melts, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you
they're
gotta
raw.
take in for
Do you know what I
waste.
mean? They do get tasted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do have to taste test stuff like so. Some of the stuff is at approximates,
Yeah.
but you,
it's within a
it's
very close.
very,
like,
very, very
yeah.
fine fucking margins.
I
do
don't
you know what
think
I mean? Like,
if you're
but
having three
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
280 or
think
320 is
I-
going
That
can
would
you
need to
get
be-
like?
Yeah.
Do you think every square here is the exact same dose? Can you get it that accurate?
I would have to send it off to get tested.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacon,
Just
though.
just because it's the way it's made and the way the
Yeah,
cannabinoids
'cause it
just
you
cling
wouldn't
to
know
the
if,
fat,
like, you
the
get
fat
it, a
molecules
big
in there.
lump
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here,
yeah.
And next bit's a bit
And I work.
less or
I
whatever.
don't ever giant batch. I
Okay.
keep everything small
So yeah,
to weigh.
yeah.
Do you know
You're
what I
not
mean?
trying
So
to
like,
scale it up to try and
no. So
you,
that
you lose quality then.
you
yeah,
lose
for sure.
quality. You lose. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Mistakes are
yeah.
costly at that when you. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
They
It's
try to
like
rush and just like mass produce.
Yeah.
It's-
which is
yeah,
what
yeah,
they
so-
And
do.
the bigger
Yeah.
size needs either more time or more temp or more something. You know what I mean? And
space,
yeah.
space is a big thing.
Yeah.
Just
And comfortability. Like I
Yeah.
always say, if it became legal, that like as you're saying, you could just move into the market. That if growers, edible makers, everything could go and like, look, here's my space. It's clean. It's all that we need.
Yeah.
It's up
Yeah.
to standards.
yeah, you just
Can I
the
be like a
standards
food
that everyone's
scientist?
treated
be
to.
the same
Yeah.
food safety hygiene.
that's
do you
it.
know what I mean? Be the same as a
Yeah.
kitchen. You'd have your 5 stars on the bloody window. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Your A rating, your
Yeah.
B rating, and all
You'd
that
have,
stuff.
you would
Donors
have your
are
bloody
more
pest control
finicky.
come round every month. Do you know what I mean? It would be the exactly the same
Oh
standards
yeah,
as any
you'd
restaurant.
welcome all that
Yeah.
if you could do it freely. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Exactly
yeah.
that, exactly that. And again, it's just that.
To be treated like a normal
Yeah.
business
But yeah,
instead of a
that-
criminal.
that's-
Like
Yeah, literally,
That's what
give
I'm
me
trying
that
to
comfort.
push to people that is what I am is business.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
putting your
whether it's
your
legal
safety.
or not, I am a
it's
proper
your,
business.
It's your safety and your health is my number one concern.
Yeah, nice.
So, and I always say that we'll never use cutting agents in any of our products, and to those who do, fuck you.
No, nice.
I'll make that into a
yeah, they're just I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it with passion.
Nice.
That's it. Their people are in for money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't care about
But
their product
it's
or their
just-
customers.
Customers will come back.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's it. People
it's
talk,
mental.
you know what
Why
I mean?
rip one person off once when
Yeah.
you can do it right and get someone
Yeah,
coming?
people want that once-off pay instead of a
can only
lifetime.
sell
One
shit
big
once.
pay instead of a lifetime of little pay, or not even little pay.
And when
you know what I mean?
something's
It's-
good, people naturally shout and talk about
of
it.
course.
Do you know what I mean? So they'll
Yeah.
tell their friends,
Like
they'll
we-
tell their neighbours. Do you know
we
what I
plug
mean?
people on this podcast every week without any like
And
promotion or
everywhere
anything.
we
If we
go,
like
yeah.
you, we'll just talk about you for
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's,
But if you're bringing quality, I think it's because we've been, like, we've bought and been sold so much
It's
shit
crap
that
and
we're
all, yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
when
Like,
you
I
see people
bought
doing it
shite.
right, you're like, no, actually, these
Actually,
deserve
no,
the
this-
respect and the shout out. You know
and
what I mean?
this
It's
is what the cannabis community should be represented as.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to give ourselves, especially if it is coming to that like boiling point of us being legal, we need to bring cleaner representation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Be
yeah.
transparent.
Not
This
these
is what we do.
scumbags selling drugs, you know what I
No,
mean?
in
Like,
like shitty calibags.
the only
and-
reason people became scumbags selling drugs is because you have to be tough to sell in the legal market. You can't be a wimp and sell drugs back home, right? You know what I mean? Because people will take your shit, they won't pay you, all this stuff. Here, you can be a 18-year-old little wimpy person and go into a coffee shop going, I have a load of flour, would you like to buy it? And you know what I mean, and do a business interaction. Whereas if that same guy tried to buy a load of weed back home, they take his money, then the other people take his weed, you know what I mean? So you have to be tough, you have to become this hard man or this scumbag or whatever, just to be in that industry. But here you can be a businessman, you can go and meet someone, you could be a young woman and just go, hi, I have flour, I have edibles, would you like my product? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And you know what I mean? You don't need to be tough. You know what I mean?
It's good to talk about these people.
Because cannabis isn't that way.
No,
we're not angry people.
Yeah, stoners don't want to fight you. You know what I mean?
Chill.
Yeah.
We want good energy. We just want ease. Like we want everyone just have good time.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly that. Yeah.
That's it. Making it illegal makes you a criminal, which makes you into what they don't want. You know what I mean?
Keep yourself safe, having to protect yourself.
You have to become into that whole world if you want to do it in any sort of scale. If you want to grab a bag and sell it to your mates, you can do that. But if you want to sell weed at home, you got to be tough. You know what I mean? You got to be, or you're going to get fucked over, one or the other. You know what I mean? So.
And it's sad to.
And also for a lot of people as well, some people don't know people to go to.
Especially the older generation.
So I deal majority of my clients are over. I'd say 95% of my clients are over 40.
Yeah,
that's what we're
so high.
You know, Teesside Cannabis Club. They said 80% of their members are over 50. You know what I mean? And that they're going 10 years.
Because they would have been the generation that would have been smoking. Next thing, as they kept smoking,
they have kids and they have families,
but
and
it
they
all got flipped, and there was such a taboo on cannabis.
But also they're stepped away from. You know what I mean? They're at home raising their kids, going to work. They don't have their dealers. They don't have their mates that can grab them a 50 bag in here. So they literally, I remember for years, like the neighbours and all, my man would go, I think down the road can't get any hash, can you get them for him? You know what I mean? And I used to sell to half to the adults around the neighbourhood when I was like 17, 18.
I think as well with myself, there's a lot of people like that it comes to the door.
Yeah, so well, that's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
How much of a success rate do you have delivering?
100%.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
But we pay for that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Everything's special delivery.
Okay.
It has to be when I looked into it,
because it's peace of mind for you, for the
and the customer. So you can, you know, what I mean,
because that's something that will put people off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a tracking number straight away after I've been to the post office, and you can track it. It's someone needs to be in to take the parcel in because it is signed for.
Yeah.
But apart, so when you come to me, you have to. I will tell you need to be in the next day. Do you know what I mean? Don't come and order. Yeah. Oh, nice. So, guaranteed before 1.
That two things always people are like, you can get stuff off the dark web, you can get, you know what I mean, order this and all. 2 things always put me off is 1, it mightn't get there, and 2, I have to wait like probably a week or 2 just to get my shit. I mean, I want to smoke now. So 1, it mightn't come at all, or 2, I might be sitting here for a week going, fuck.
And we'll work with people as well. So if you're not home for a couple of days, you know, order it. Yeah, I'll put it on hold. I'll send it out for when you're ready. Do you know what I mean?
Delivery time.
We don't. So like a lot of people forget it's, you know, on Friday, like, oh, can I get something for tomorrow? Yeah. Royal Mail charge extra for a Saturday delivery. Okay. So then, but then it starts getting silly prices. Like starts costing like you £15 to get, you know, 3.5 of flour in the post the next day. Come on, mate. Like, wait till Monday. Yeah, that's it. Or do you know, I don't want to turn anyone down.
I don't think I could wait till Monday though. That's the thing. You know what I mean? And especially back home.
And I can't have products sit in a sorting office for the weekend. I'm not doing it. You're not having shit products. Do you know what I mean? I won't send you out a product that's not made correctly to the correct standard, you know. And then that works for, like, I offer a crumbly fudge on the menu, and I just didn't cook it out long enough when I was making it, and it just wasn't crumbly. It was soft. So it's not going to go to the customer. Apologise. I'll make you a fresh one. I'll get it out ASAP for you. I'll send it out tomorrow. But obviously then I'm left with a load of wastage there. So, you know, I'll pop it out to people. If people do want it, you know, still going to do exactly the same thing. But it's not what I told you. It's not the description.
Maybe knock off the price a little bit.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like when it's, you know, Cadbury's that do like those broken biscuits.
Broken fingers and
stuff like that. Yeah. So
they're good enough for me, man.
Occasionally,
what it looks like.
Every now and again when I do make a mistake with something, do you know what I mean? grab yourself a deal, do you know what I mean? You might get an extra chocolatey.
Like sometimes I go into a coffee shop and there's a strain I like and they're like, oh, it's only fucking crumbs left. I'm like, I'm gonna grind it anyway. I don't give a shit. Like I'm not taking pictures of the nugs. Fucking
I've
throw
got
it in there.
I've got a couple of friends that are like, oh, can I have some fudge? Like, any particular flavour? He's like, I just don't care.
Yeah, that's it.
Just send it.
I don't even
out.
look at it. I just put it in my mouth. Like, you know what I mean?
I was like, please, mate, just try it. You know what I mean, have something new. Oh.
Nice though. They're your like guinea pigs.
Well, so how we work with when we come, well, how this is where the we comes in. So come up with an idea of something, and
new
then
product, like.
so yeah, and then we have to test it and test and test to get it right.
Yeah.
Like lollipops.
So that's a lot of guinea pigs.
Yeah, and so you're making all these batches first with no cannabis product in, so no
Okay,
oil
see if you
in.
can make
so
the product right.
see if
yeah.
you can make the product first,
Yeah.
right? Now,
That's definitely
I'm very, maybe it's a luck thing, an unlucky thing. In my job, obviously, I have to do a lot of recipes and whatnot. I have a habit of doing something well first time,
Okay.
and then not being able to replicate it again with some dishes, which is a real, I don't know how I do it. Like,
It's a gift and
first
a curse.
time, yeah, it's a gift and a curse. Like, first time I nail it. It's like,
you gotta
I've
be
done
here for
that.
the first one. After
Yeah.
that,
And then like, I'll go and make it again. I was like, that wasn't what I had
Yeah,
last
that's
time. I don't
crazy.
know what's going on. So that doesn't help. So
yeah.
so yeah, well, like
Eventually, I get back to the.
so
to the-
lollipops was one of that we struggled with because
And what, like just a normal, like chubba chub kind of looking
Yeah,
lollipop?
yeah, just a so-
hard candy.
yeah. So when you're caramelizing sugar, well, not even caramelizing, when you're heating it up, it goes through stages of soft, hard, and then caramelization.
Okay.
So at a certain temperature, which is 150, you
So it
get
goes soft, and back to hard,
So-
and then back to soft.
So
yeah.
what happens is you're going with the sugar. You've got corn syrup in there and water. Very simple. You don't even have any flavourings. No cannabis in there at this point. So you're cooking it down. Once the thermometer says 150
Yeah.
degrees, stop. It will still be a liquid, but then it will slowly start to solidify.
Yeah.
That's a soft crack.
Okay.
And what you can do with that is put that in your hand and roll it. It's really weird. Like pull it, like almost like a
Okay.
taffy.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
such.
yeah.
Then, if we were making another one and we went to 160, that's called a hard crack. So once you take that off the heat, once it hits that one, you then take it out and you can smash it like glass.
Okay.
Hard crack,
yeah,
so like
yeah.
a lollipop.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Just with that 10 degrees.
10 degrees.
Fuck
Now we go
yeah.
one more 10 degrees up. It's
Yeah.
caramelization. We start burning the sugar. So
Then it goes back to gloopy,
then goes to that brown, burny.
That's
so
crazy.
Yes.
we have to work
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
that small window there is
Yeah.
so hard to get right.
Yeah.
So hard to get
Especially on
right.
a
And I've
large
got
scale, like-
thermometers and whatnot. And
Yeah.
so first time, this is actually one of the things that I've failed I think 4 times before we got it right. And then so yeah, 4 times. First one burnt. Second one, way under. Third one, burnt. And then fourth one, I think it was about the fourth that was right.
So over, under, over.
Yeah,
Just couldn't get it
got
right.
it right. So then, okay, cool, nailed that one. So we'll go for, I like to do flavours, and so we're trying different flavours. We go, landed on strawberry and Sicilian flavour. So we've got a strawberry
Sicilian.
one, Sicilian lemon.
Okay.
A little bit bougie.
I thought it was like
Italian.
from yeah. I was like
Sicilian.
yeah, no, so yeah, I should have
Taste
considered
the home.
So yeah, Sicilian lemon extract that we use in that one, and then yeah, a strawberry one. So got those going. There was like, okay, what colouring wise do I want to do something that is blue but then lemon in flavour, or blue and red and fuck with your mind, do
Okay,
something
yeah.
different?
Yeah.
Okay, how does that then affect my tongue? So then eat the sweet. Am I then got a really bad blue mouth depending on the amount that I've put in?
Yeah.
I have to make another batch up again. I put more in. Is my mouth really dyed? So I try that, go through that process, and then
Are you aiming for the dye, or you're
No,
trying to
so
avoid the dye?
got rid of it.
Okay.
So I've got 8.
It's like you used to have them as your
Yeah, no, I
kid.
remember. That's why I was
Remember
wondering, are you going for that? Because
Yeah.
it's good for a kid, but I don't know if any stoners when we
Yeah,
go around with big
yeah,
blue tongue.
exactly. Yeah. But these are, I like to try gimmicky things.
Yeah.
So then I've
Yeah.
gone for the coating on it. So I want to do something sour. So then I've got so I'm doing like a citric acid and sugar coating on it, which is like when you get sour sweets, that's what that is. It's a nice mixture.
Kind of coating on it.
That coating, which I love, like those strawberry laces you see. I still love them now, and my son loves them as well. It's like it's a lovely ritual between us. It's feral. So I tried that, but obviously acid is acid. So this stuff is strong. Comes with a warning label on the bag and whatnot. So, but I like sour. So for me, I was always going to push it to the max. So I go for the first time round. I suck on it. Honestly, my face sort of imploded on itself. So
I don't like sour. I can't even imagine that.
Take it out. So the acid is then started to burn on the inside, and I have cuts coming up.
Way.
And I couldn't eat properly for a week.
Fucking
so then it was a week delay.
Good thing you tested it.
So So then we then have to
try this at home, kids.
So we then throw those ones away. Do another batch. Work out how many to get it right for the coating until we get it just right. And then we've then mastered
that as a thing for testing.
And then but then I've started watching like clips and whatnot with people doing like these hot chips or these salt chips. And I thought, imagine doing like a super sour one, and then 20 minutes after it all settles down.
It's a double. You record your first reaction and you record it an hour later.
Which I thought it might be something. Do you know what I mean? I might do that with the Lego men.
The Lego men. I was showing them the other day.
Drop the Lego men in price just for a bit, and we'll just do some.
And what kind of strength are in the lollies and the Legos?
So lollies are there's 225 milligrams across 5 lollipops.
Okay. I thought that was one lolly. I was like, oh, nice. Across 5. So,
The boiled sweets we do, there's 225 milligrams across 20 sweets. We have 300 milligram cookies.
Okay, nice.
Our infused oil is 10 milligram a teaspoon.
Okay.
So it's very
and what big would the bottle be?
So they cut the jam jar. There's about 10 teaspoons in there.
Okay.
Yeah, they come in like, when you go in a hotel, the little jam jars. They come in those.
Nice.
Again, it's just I'm trying to work out scaling level for like that's something. If I do it bigger, you'll buy it. It will just sit there for a while. So I need to make sure it can sit there for a while because I want to use like the garlic and the rosemary infusing in it and whatnot. But also, are people gonna do they want it in their house? Do they cook enough with it and to warrant buying it? So is it better just keeping it off in a small jar? Do you know what I mean? So
you can have the small and the large one if you do. I like that. You know what I mean? I'm using that every day.
It's the balancing act of that. It's trying to get feedback from people and their habits, and that also comes with their spending habits as well. Of how much do you want to spend? We'll tailor do you know what I mean? We'll tailor prices as much as we can, especially with the flash crashes. So like. I went through a little stage of they just weren't moving as much. I was like, I couldn't work out why. And then I just did a little poll the other day. I was like, what do you want to actually see from a flash crash? Do you want, the prices edibles, between 50 to 100? Do you want it 150 to 200? Do you want more fudge? Do you want mix and match? Do you know what I mean? Do you want extreme? Do you
want a big pack or just little affordable ones?
Now, of course, majority of it lent to I ended up putting all of it in a graph and saw the curve of it go up. Of obviously, there's a lot of people that want value and low price. You know what I mean? Of course, we have
lots of strength, not much money. I'll have that, please.
€5.
Shocker. You know what I mean?
Obviously,
nobody wanted the weak ones for expensive now.
But again, we can then work out on what people want and going forward. So we're going to roll out some drinks in the next.
What they're willing to pay.
What they want, pay. And we'll work. Obviously, everyone's got different expendable incomes, but it's keeping it rolling for people.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And just working with people.
To all of them.
Because it's not a money thing for me. Someone messaged me the other day. And she can't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
Known her a few years now. Can't smoke anymore. And she's like, can you do me up some bears? Now it's summertime. I don't do bears in the summertime because when they travel, if they sit in the heat,
they just melt.
Honestly, I said to Saucy Wilson, I spoke to him, I don't know how Haribo do it. Like, I don't part of me really wants to go down that rabbit hole of learning but then I think, do I really want to be adding stabilisers
See,
to my
this is
food?
it,
This is that
Yeah.
that moral balance
It's like
that I'm playing with in my
chocolate
head.
in America doesn't melt because they've added some random shit.
Shit
you know
in
what I
it,
mean?
yeah.
There's- like the other way here, you'd leave some
Yeah.
chocolate out in the melt.
And it
They have
changes
different
shape.
stuff over there
Yeah.
that won't melt, and in Australia and stuff. Because
Oh, that's
yeah,
not
you don't know
right.
what
You
they're
know
putting in
Why?
that shit. Like,
If it's not, it should.
yeah, a flake doesn't melt. Have you seen that? Have you seen this on YouTube? People have put flakes in the microwaves in a pot with a flame. If you break even the smallest bit of a flake off, try and melt it. It won't melt. Flakes
way.
don't melt. It doesn't. I don't watch it on YouTube later. Watch videos on it. Flakes don't melt. We'll even do it. Yeah.
No way.
Some fella put a pot on, just an empty pot, sat it in it, didn't melt. Put it on the flame, didn't melt.
I'm laughing at that.
The hair dryers, everything, nothing won't melt. Flakes don't melt. I don't know what they put in it, but it's crazy. Yeah,
Right,
but
we've
they-
got to have a look at that. Off
yeah,
pod.
it's fucking.
Oh,
What's in
what
that?
are they
Like?
feeding us?
Yeah, but same with the
literally.
coating on
Ugh.
M&Ms. They don't melt. On their slogan, melt in your mouth, not in your hands.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
if you leave M&Ms in your hand, they won't melt.
Does the colour not
I
come off, or is that
The colour
Smarties?
could-
Maybe the
colour
colour
comes,
goes off,
yeah.
the chocolate won't melt.
Smarties definitely.
Yeah,
do.
maybe I know the colour
It is
does
a
come
firm
off.
chocolate, actually.
But yeah,
now
no,
I think about
that's
it.
the
yeah.
whole slogan: melt in your hand, or melt in your mouth, not in your hands.
And I don't like M&Ms. They're like a weird ass.
Some of them
flavour.
are nice. I like the blue ones are nice, the crispy ones. We had them, yeah.
My
They
son went
started
through a
off as the
stage
mini
where-
ones. They were in the
Yeah.
tubes, and they were the crispy ones, and they made them into actual M&Ms. Like,
Oh.
yeah, they started off as the tubes of M&M minis, but they weren't
Yeah.
any of the ones we had before. It was this crispy kind of biscuit, and then they made them into the blue M&Ms eventually. Yeah.
See, I'd like to go down some more experimental ideas of
Yeah, but
sweets
again, I think you
eventually.
need to add some mad chemicals. It's like, do you ever hear about the cereal aisle in America?
Yeah.
The reason the cereal aisle here is shit is because they only stock stuff that's edible. The reason the cereal
No
aisle,
way!
yeah, in America, most of that stuff is not for
It's
human
like
consumption.
sugar,
Like,
sugar,
I
sugar
always
as well.
complain about
Yeah,
the cereal
I seen a
aisle.
thing
The
before,
one
it was
back
like,
home, like Tesco's.
it was an
Fucking
American
hell,
woman who
that's
came
like,
back
oh.
from Europe, and like her whole diet was off because she hadn't been eating good stuff here. And then she went back to America and she's eating all the like Lucky Charms and all this.
Same.
Probably
bullshit.
feeling awful.
Only when I was at Mary Jane, there was a girl over, and she said that she has diabetes. Usually, she takes a certain amount of insulin.
Yeah.
She thought because she had been eating so much crap, she'd need this amount of insulin.
Yeah.
But because the food here, like,
So
is
much better and
like this
healthy.
is Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it is actually pretty decent. That she had taken too much insulin, so she needed to go drink more sugar
That's crazy.
to balance it out. Because usually she was thinking
She's used to
the
her
level-
American intake, you know what I
Oh my
mean?
God,
Their
that's-
tap water probably has sugar in it over there, like, you know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. Yeah,
They get
but like
pumped.
it's their thing is just colours and chemicals and everything. You know what I mean?
That's
Like at
crazy.
home we have more. We'd have a few, and I think here you will get like Frosties and a few other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you go to half them, it's just bran and fucking. You know what I mean? All this all bran and all this
There's
shit.
a YouTube channel that goes through recreating fast food stuff.
Okay.
Like, with all the chemicals in it and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And try and make their own and whatnot. Like make McDonald's French fries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
With
like,
all the
yeah, with all the chemicals
I
that they
heard
have.
before
It
that-
should just be
yeah.
a potato.
But I heard,
Like,
I don't know if it's
that's
here or in
fucked.
America that the potato or the fries are just made with flour and water. It's not even potato. I think in America, have you ever seen them videos of the pink goop that make the chicken nuggets? I think in Europe we don't have such a demand, so we can actually have meat and potatoes as our burgers and chips. But in America, I think it's just a pink gloop of meat in most stuff, and then flour and water made up fries. I think that's what they're eating in America.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Oh man, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Not for me.
No,
Not
there's
for me. Well,
such
yeah.
an
Drink that?
Yes, please.
experiment.
Can I grab water, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
very.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not used to being here.
Yeah.
Ah,
Help
to do
yourself.
shit. Usually I chill at the other end of
Yeah.
the table.
Get used to the new setup. Do you want that?
Might rob a cola. Yeah. Rocking all my drinks and I'm popping my mug.
Yeah, it's
You could even log that in the fridge. There you go.
Have you had
Push it back a
many
bit.
dessert sort of edibles before, or like
As in.
anything from like ice cream,
Oh, we
or have you
had,
mainly just been like cakes?
What was it? We made our milkshakes and stuff.
Oh, Candy
Candy Crew. Joe Candy Crew. I think they're in the UK, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sent us over like milkshake
Milkshakes and-
powder stuff, you know what I mean? So we done it on her boat a couple of years ago, but she didn't have a freezer. So by the time we got around to it, the ice cream had half melted. We're trying to make videos. It was the funniest thing ever. Like it was just, the second one was just
sprinkles all over
gloop,
my house,
and then you
yeah.
could see we do a slow motion. We were pouring the sprinkles, and it just went everywhere. And you can hear in the slow motion, it was like us giggling away and all. It was some crack. But that was the closest we've had to like an ice cream rat, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we were having a lot of, like, even Trichome Science, they're a big one here in Amsterdam.
They make some amazing stuff.
Amazing stuff, yeah. Really, really high quality as well. And they do, like, infused dinners as well. They have another one coming up with their hash kitchen. So there I did have, like, a full, like, dessert. And even their stones would be
Well, that's what
classed
most,
more as a
like,
dessert.
we've had lots of cakes and every type of cake, so I'm trying to think what other. I've had cheesecake as infused. Let's Get Baked bitch made for my birthday. Infused cheesecake with an infused strawberry sauce to go on top of the cheesecake. So everything was infused. It was amazing. So yeah,
She's
we've
one
had
of
lots
the
of
one
cakes,
people
and
that's
she
fucking
makes some of the strongest. Like if we're the last time I was proper baked was her edibles. We done a Christmas session like a year and a half ago, and fucking. She just kept giving me cakes and gummies and everything. I'd say it about 2,000 odd milligrams into me. I was I'd probably smoked about 10 grams as well, you know what I mean? So it was like I was just under war. But
I think that was the one time I remember you were walking towards us and I actually looked up and I was like,
swaying.
are you stoned? Like, you look great. I've never saw Glenn
I think
before.
twice. I can remember 2 times. One was La Cosa Nostra session. These Irish lads who were trying to launch over here, they're still trying to, but this was about 2 years ago. They just brought edibles for everyone. We're in New Times. Cookies, brownies, fucking everything. Gummies. They have so in Ireland we have like Fanta, but it's called Club, and they have Rock Shandy, which is lemon and orange, and they had gummies, that flavour, 50 milligram cubes. I must have had about 10 or 20 of them on top of everything else. Again, at about 1,500 milligrams. And I was stoned that day. My mum and dad were over. My dad was in the pub drunk. My mum was at home waiting to go for dinner. I had to go pick up my dad, me stoned, him drunk, and then go get my man. The three of us go for dinner. And say my mum was sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Me stoned and him like that, fucking piss. So, stop.
Yeah, that was a handful.
But yeah, no, like, I don't really get high, and it takes a lot of edibles for me to get high. So it's I just kind of smoke for the smoke, and like her, I just like to have a joint constantly. If I could have a joint at 3/4 length forever, you know what I mean? Just change the flavour somehow. That would be perfect.
Yeah, we've always said that like that.
Yeah, just there, you know what I mean?
Just,
That the tasty part, and
enough
just
to get it burning. That it's like already.
the
smooth.
first few hits are nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it gets down, it's not worth smoking.
Yeah.
So there's just that good bit between.
It's,
you know what I mean?
do you- I love the fact that you can have cannabis in so many different forms.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
That-
And people are experimenting
but
with
you
everything
get that
now.
passionate. Do you know what I mean? You're passionate. You love that. Absolutely love that. And then on the flip side, there's someone else that's like, I just like a 1, 2, 3 on the hit, and that's them. They buzzed on that. They've got. Do you know what I mean?
Some people just want
like,
that bong hit, and then they'll just sit there. You know what I mean? It's
and it's just
for me, that's like
The
doing shots.
variety
You
is
know what I mean?
beautiful.
I prefer the old like sit around, have a drink and
so
chat.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're there going shots, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Bong, bollocks. Do you know what I mean? So it's. I prefer it's more for the social aspect of it.
Well, I think it's only in the last few years, but I didn't even realise until kind of coming over here how much variety and options. Like even again with the edibles, like we made ours at home with like our keef and our flour, and we decarbed and stuff like that. But the last couple of years, it's like evolved. Like the cannabis scene, even though it's still underground and illegal, it's evolved.
Yeah, I know.
massively.
Like people are experimenting big time.
Yeah, obviously our sort of our main advertising sort of platform is Instagram, and having a look at what other people do as well. There are some clever, passionate people about, and do you know what I mean? Like, and also like if there's something that I can't do or source, then I will always pass you on to someone that I know that I trust. So like. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no.
We've said that before.
The
edible community here. Like, if I said to you, "Oh, do you have like gummies?" You're like, "No," but my friend does. You know what I mean? So if we went to one people, they go, "Do you have this?" They go, "No," but one the other, they won't go. No, these are better. You know what I mean? Like another.
And I'll always like if I can help someone. someone, I'll help someone. I
Yeah.
mean, we've just recently started added mushrooms to our
Okay.
magic mushrooms. Yeah. So
You grow them yourself?
yeah. So got grown myself, and then a lad I used to work with is bang into his mycelium growing and his mushrooms.
Mushrooms, like, it's
and
the
he's,
new thing,
he is
isn't it?
cultivating
Yeah.
some absolute monster
Yeah.
strength. Like, but he's passionate about it.
Yeah.
He's got a massive fish tank, and he grows coral and sells coral, and like
Okay.
he's into growing and
Yeah.
like the first time I went round his house, he goes, "Do you want to see my fish tank?" And I was like, "Go on then." Bit weird, but yeah, we'll go with it. We go upstairs. This fish tank is huge. It takes up a whole room. And in my head, the whole time I'm thinking, that's a lot of weight. How's this floor like holding?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
really worried
Like a
that the
swimming
floor,
pool.
could go through at any moment. Anyway, he goes into this other room. He's like, "You want to see the babies?" He like starts showing me all like the mushrooms that he's growing and the different ways he's doing it. Like he's using Uncle Ben's rice packs sometimes. He's using like proper tubs, testing out different substrates for all the effects. So yeah, so the people that I work with, I'm never like 4 people away. You don't know where your stuff comes from.
It's
So the flour that I sell comes from
locally
the grower.
It's like a farm
So
locally
as frustrating as I know it
Yeah.
is, there's a lot of flavour chasers that people want to try different
Yeah.
strains, and I only offer one. But there's a reason I only offer one.
Yeah, because you know it's quality.
I know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I deal with very few people, but it's high quality
Nice.
But I
stuff.
think that's better. There's so many middlemen. at the
Yeah,
minute. You don't know-
100%.
You'll get a strain and it's been like
Yeah.
slapped with 5 different stickers
Yes.
before it's got
Yeah,
you.
that's
and-
it.
Yeah, and that's not. I want
No,
people
you're
to
trying to
know
break
where
that,
it's
yeah.
coming
And
from.
so let's say
Yeah.
that strain
Clean it
ran
up.
out or that supply ran out, you're on pause? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
Morals.
Nice.
Yeah,
No,
respect.
fair play.
Big respect,
Would you,
man, yeah.
if you found a second place you trusted, would you?
After testing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And have
So-
you looked into like broaden?
Could do, but I'm loyal.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
And
get
I'm
that.
loyal. I'm a loyal customer.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I'm loyal, and I'm treated for my loyalty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Has
Which
it
means
happened
I
where he's
can.
ran out?
Yeah, but he's back up and running in a couple of days.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's never,
Yeah,
okay,
it's never an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
Yeah, and I always get a heads up. Oh, I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
Do you,
Stock
like,
up.
do you know what I mean? Yeah. Some like they can every now and then. Mainly it's
Do you
hardware
find
I
it
struggle
work, yeah?
like with. So like getting empty vape carts. Like,
Okay.
so again, I spend a lot
The
on
packaging more
postage
so than
because
that.
everything's next day. So like,
Yeah,
if you come
need
to me, yeah,
it
right, I can do it, but I'll get it out tomorrow for you. So
Yeah.
I'll order the stuff up. That's got to come next day. So
Yeah.
and
Okay. So you nearly need all that stuff bulk prepped
Yeah.
ahead as well.
yeah. So like, I keep a lot of like empty like bottles around.
Yeah.
Packaging is another one. Like,
Yeah, that's junky.
go through a
And
lot of packaging.
These vapes, you just basically open them, fill them up, and that's it. Like,
So this one is my own personal one.
okay.
So I do.
And you can refill
so-
that?
No.
Okay.
This one. They say you can refill these, but
Okay.
I find so you get 2 in a pack. I find after that third mil, so this is a 2 mil
Is
tank.
there still the bit of the last one?
It's
in
just
it?
a bit. No, the coil starts burning a bit,
Yeah.
and it's just not very tasty. And it's
Okay,
I'm not.
yeah.
It's not real. So
But
yeah.
that part is you change every time, but this.
The bottom part is just a battery.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
so
that's
so
you
my
sell them
one.
about
Yeah,
that
so
size?
I sell them a lot smaller, and they come with a battery already charged.
And is that what your stuff in it?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That doesn't
I did it
taste.
again, but
Did you? That doesn't taste.
Yeah, you'll
like-
get so when you you'll get a little tickle in the back of your throat.
it has that kind
What
of
is the-
sherbet
Wedding
kind
cake.
of.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
But it's
so
real smooth. Even the pull off is nice,
Yeah.
and some vapes you have to have a right out like
Yeah.
chug on it.
and do
I
you know
remember-
what this is? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Like
It does
that.
require a bit of maintenance because you do use a thick oil with it. Like I give it a good clean on the
It's
inside
juicy.
with
Yeah.
isopropyl alcohol. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you have to give it a little love and care. But it's sleek. It's a good design.
Yeah.
It's nice. When you're out and about, it's nice. Do you know, a nice colour that it doesn't
Yeah.
look like one of those
Yeah.
fruity ones.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
It
it
looks a
still
bit,
blends
yeah.
as well.
So the ones that I do, as I said, sorry, I do 5 mil, sorry, a 0.5 and a 1 mil cart. And then we offer Skywalker OG,
Okay.
Terp, you can have Gas Runts Terp, Banana Runts, are the 3 that we
So
offer
that's
full
you
time.
make the the THC oil.
So we get the
clean.
oil in, which is clean. So basically, when they go through the distillation process, they
Yeah.
take all the terps out.
Yeah,
So they
take everything out.
Everything out. Yeah.
And it's just left
So
with
you're
THC.
you're left with a thick oil, which is odorless and tasteless.
And what percent THC is that?
94,
And what would the other
upwards.
what would the other 5% be? Just random.
Other
little-
cannabinoids that are
Okay.
left in there.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
so
So I do get. He does. He puts reports up every now and then when he does a big batch,
Okay, nice.
and he
What's-
goes off and gets tested.
Okay.
So we can all see
Yeah,
what's,
nice.
what's in there. You only have to ask him.
And then
he can send that
afterwards,
over.
you add in the terpenes.
So then, so he's gone to the trouble of stripping it all out, and I go back to the trouble of putting them back in again and
Okay.
then fusing it back in again.
Yeah.
And
where
then
do you get the terpenes? You extract that from.
we can buy them online.
Okay.
Buy them
And
legally.
are they
Yeah, they're
extracted from a
they're
plant?
extracted from a plant. Yeah,
Okay.
they're all.
So
Hence
it
why we can
is
call
natural.
it organic.
Yeah.
You can get terpenes that have the VGPG already
Is this
mixed in.
artificial terpenes?
Yeah,
Okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you have to
So
be
then
careful
you're
what you
nearly-
smoke.
You could be adding 2 of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you have to be
not
careful.
actually-
Yeah,
yeah.
if you don't know, and a lot of people don't know what's
Yeah,
put in
no,
them.
for sure. Yeah,
Or
it's
you-
nearly
or
like
they wanna make
it's
them
nearly like
fast.
spraying, isn't it? If you add fake terpenes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a vape version of
So-
spraying your weed.
yeah.
Like, I mean, adding fake flavors.
So yeah, we had the organic
Yeah.
stuff in, and then obviously it gives the effect of,
Yeah.
something a bit. Want to sit down and relax.
Yeah.
That's what Skywalker OG is. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can get
Yeah.
around
I like
on a gas
Skywalker
runs.
as
yeah.
a strain, so I'd say
Do you know what
runs
I
I
mean?
like as
Yeah.
well.
And then the website we use, once you spend over 50 quid, they send you like testers of their new range that they'll
Okay.
they'll
And
go
once you
to
just tap
do.
them into your.
Yeah, and so we give them a go and whatnot, and
Yeah.
then we give them a little bit of feedback. I like to give feedback on the website.
Yeah.
To flavours. Again, I don't know if anyone looks at it. They might not, or they might think
Yeah.
we'll chuck him extra flavours. Do you know what I
no,
mean?
for sure.
And they're always adding
as
stuff.
you were
They've
saying,
got-
you're looking for feedback, so everyone is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is how places grow. For
and
sure.
again, there's a lot of flavour chasers out there. People want to try different things,
Yeah.
but it's just once you start getting people going, oh, can I have like one Girl Scout cookie? Can I have a fruity
Yeah.
pebbles? And it's like, oh bloody yeah, like we'll stick to 3. We'll give
Yeah.
an option of like a good.
Oh, but I've
relaxed
seen
one.
stuff before. Do you ever see when you have a big menu of stuff, people don't order as much, and when you condense it down, people are like, right, I've only got this, so I'll just go for that. Too much option, people brains stop. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I
I
mean?
think
They're like,
that
it's
that's also got to
Yeah.
a point now. Like it takes a long time to go through my menu, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to be informative as possible, so I'll show you like. I'll sort of. It's a bit of a spill at the beginning,
Yeah.
just because you need everyone to know. So it's welcome to the wonderful world as high as Fudge, an edible specialist serving the finest sweets and treats. We offer a convenient, discreet way for individuals to consume cannabis, and our edibles come in various forms like baked goods, sweets, chocolate, beverages, and more. We also have other cannabis-related goodies, including distillate vapes and caps. Products are made to order to ensure high quality and freshness. Please let us know of any allergies before ordering. We do use nuts in our products from time to time.
nice.
Bosh. So that's a little bit about us, what we do,
Yeah.
and then we have a
Beautiful.
nice extensive menu.
Yeah.
It's getting people invested.
It's a nice friendly
in
way
what it
of
is.
Yeah,
clean
no,
and
you,
you can
you know
understand.
exactly what
Yeah.
you're getting into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What
do,
you're
do
offering.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
nice.
instead of like someone's like, I've got some chocolate cake, like, and I'm like, what
Yeah,
chocolate?
no, I've
Yeah.
seen
Well, what are you
some
doing,
of the
like-
telegrams, and I'm like, I wouldn't order off that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just some guy, I've got cakes here. You
You
know what I mean?
They just look sketch as
Yeah.
well. Like, no, that's
Yeah.
lovely
Yeah,
and welcoming.
so, yeah,
as
you've gotta
the
get-
market should be.
Yeah, and then so we also we explain what the Skywalker OG is. We explain the Amnesia Haze. It won the cups back in was
Yeah.
it 2012? Was it the Amnesia Haze?
I'm
one?
not
Or
sure,
2008,
but-
something like that. So we talk about the citrus flavour that you'll get from the terpenes. Then with our packaging, that same descriptions on the
Nice.
back.
So
you know
giving
we're
people a bit more education.
so we try and
we've found
inform
from-
Yeah.
along the way, and then again, there's no ever silly questions. So if you come to me and you
Yeah.
say how much, don't ever feel like it's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's a
question,
lot of people in
stupid.
this. They think they need to know everything. Like I'm happy to look stupid. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
don't worry. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ask.
I'd
Like, a lot of
rather we
people.
walk away knowing.
Yeah,
than
half
walk
the
away being
reason
like,
I
"Oh,
don't want to know people before this podcast is because I ask stupid questions. When I'm interested and I'm first meeting somebody,
Yeah.
I'll ask you stupid questions. If I've already know it, I'll be like, how do I bring up this topic? But if it's just here, I'm like, what? How
One
does
for
that
me
work? You know what I mean?
was-
So
a big thing for me is finding out that I could freeze fudge,
Okay.
like one of those. In my head, I was like, oh, it just would ruin the product. And then the more I thought about it, and then I looked into like the science side of things. Once it's decarbed, it's activated. It's done. So it doesn't matter if it's taken below a certain temperature.
Okay.
It's activated.
Yeah.
So you can freeze it.
Nice.
Now, I told someone this, and they were like, nah, that's just not true. And I'm like, maybe I'm stupid, do you know what I mean? But it doesn't until you try it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I'll try it.
I
There is
thought
the
it
only
was
way.
stupid that you could put weed in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like, I generally thought that, and I look like an idiot.
No,
Like,
but
well, you
it's
can
not,
put
but it's
goods in there.
questioning
Yeah.
things.
And things like that, which works great for older people that have kids, because
Yeah.
their kids don't look for chocolate in the freezer.
Yeah, that's true. Put them inside an old packet of peas or something like that.
do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, we do
Smart,
obviously
yeah.
stress that.
Yeah, I think you don't make them look too
No, apart
colourful
obviously
and
the
too-
Lego man. No, so we use.
the Lego men. Yeah,
We explain when you get your tracking number, so you get another spill. So your product was made today by such and such.
that's amazing. Even that.
Yeah,
you know what
so
I mean?
you get that on your order. You get your tracking number. Then it tells you how to store your product. So please keep your product in the freezer if possible. Once open, consume within 7 days. Keep it in the fridge. Please keep out of the reach of children. Please don't drive. Please don't operate heavy machinery. Do you know, like just that little bit of, do you know what I mean? It will take 20 to 60 minutes for this product to kick in. Like, please, after 20 minutes, if you're not feeling it, don't go, oh, I need more. Like,
it's not working.
just wait. Please, like, just be
Yeah.
patient. So, yeah, we give a little spill again. Once
I'd say that happens
and
so
then-
often. You know
or
what I
we-
mean? Or else the
Sometimes
munchies kick in. You're
yeah.
like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah, let's have that. You know what I mean? It's,
you're like, oh,
Yeah,
an hour later, like, oh
that's
no.
why I was saying there was a lot of people now that ask me for the fudge without it in because they want to eat the fudge,
Yeah.
but they don't want to get high.
Yeah.
Like,
Just start with the
Yeah.
good stuff and then they'll just
Yeah.
nibble on the other stuff.
just don't
like.
get your bags mixed up.
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean?
for sure.
So
Yeah,
now I'm
did.
finding sort of a lot of my time as well making just normal and sort
Regular.
of brand, just
Nice.
making regular baked goods for people as
That's
well.
cool,
and
yeah.
people
But
But that
that's
shows
even
your
good
quality.
feedback,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's-
If like people were happy, whatever the edible is, and once it got them high. But if your edible's so good that they want to eat it anyway without getting them high, that says a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean, I'm trying to just always come up with different ideas as well. I looked at, I saw that old Salt Bay with the gold leaf, and I thought maybe I could do a gold
Okay,
leaf.
yeah,
wrap one, do you know what I mean?
nice.
But I know gold leaf's quite cheap. It's not like the thousands that
Yeah.
they charge you for this steak, so I could keep it relatively with it.
Yeah,
But then
it
I was
just
like, I
looks
looked
fancy.
into it like. It wouldn't travel very well once it's vacuum packed.
Ah,
I need to
shit.
be vacuum packed because it's a long life. It gives the product a longer life.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, something that never materialised, but like little things like that. I'm always looking for like ideas.
Yeah,
Might do
nice.
some popping candy ones one
that'd
day.
be
Like,
sick.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep it fun and
Yeah,
Yeah,
fun
of
and fresh.
course, yeah.
Like if anyone's got any ideas or like they
Someone
want
wants something made for
similar,
themselves, yeah.
I do like. I don't offer like cakes on the menu, but if you want a birthday cake done, or if you want
Yeah.
if you want cakes instead of or muffins or something, I'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
Lovely,
You ever do
though.
caramel slice? Oh, they're nice.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, do you know the biscuit and then the caramel and a bit
Is
of
that
chocolate on
like-
top.
Oh,
You slice them into the squares, like yeah.
I see. I'd like to do one of those. Like you've seen those
With
big
ice
milk.
cream.
Have you seen those big milkshakes where they put like the donut in, the
Yeah.
whipped cream, like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just, like they layer the top? Oh, one of those. I'd like to do
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
That and
Because
just
it
It's like
infused the cream
bits
as
of
well.
cake in it and all.
Should,
Yeah.
Trichomes have infused popcorn, don't they? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it
popcorn
is.
they had
Yeah,
at the
I think
pig,
it's
yeah.
doused in like an oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
They do
someone in
collab
the
with
community.
Fudge sauce,
Yeah.
They do hashoes. They are
Like
like
cashews?
coated cashew nuts.
Okay.
And they are incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
so
just a nut with a layer,
just
like
a nut,
with a
yeah, with like a sugar glaze.
Okay,
over the top, and they do-
infused.
Honestly,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
good. Right. So I got told about this cannabis, festival event down on my local seafront.
Yeah.
This was pre-COVID. And so I was like, well, what's the crack then? My mate's like, well, there's just people like talking about it and whatnot. So I go down there and there's like a load of tents and whatnot. And people are just openly selling cannabis just over, like on the beach.
Yeah.
Like there's music playing, there's people just walking dogs coming up, like asking questions. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm looking around, I'm like, how are you lot getting away with this? Like the biggest issue of the day was that someone's bumper was over a double yellow. Like,
That's the
that was the
only-
issue, the big issue that came over
Parking,
the tannoy. Yeah,
yeah.
it was a parking issue. Like
That's
and
pretty
it was
good
it was
complaint,
mental. There
though.
were, yeah. And there was loads of like
But
different vendors.
The police have to see how little trouble they have at these compared to a group of lads in the park, loads of trouble.
Yeah.
Big, huge event with stoners,
Yeah.
no trouble whatsoever.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Like
They've started moving it now to sort of like ticketed like festivals in the
Okay.
UK. Like,
I'm seeing a lot
it is getting more open and
Yeah.
more regular.
So,
so,
Like,
like
it's-
I think they're just like maybe
Massive.
going to like farms and like, can we have this field and whatnot? And they're selling, I think like weekend tickets about £80, something like that. And there's vendors there all weekend. I
And
think
it's
they do
just
music. Yeah,
just
you
a
could-
pop
you know what I
up
mean?
kind of
Bring your
Amsterdam,
tent,
like you know.
yeah,
what I
do
mean?
you know what I mean? Like, so there's
That's
like those
crazy.
little
That's
events going
nice,
around.
Yeah.
But-
And if the police are kind of like, even with Teesside, I think the police don't want the hassle. And if they know, okay, right, they're not abiding the law,
Yeah.
but
They're not causing any trouble. Like
they're
you know what I mean?
not actually disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even our on Garda Síochána, the Irish police force means guardians of the peace. So that's all. That's what the actual
Yeah.
thing is behind it.
It's all
just
bullshit.
peace for- yes, but that's what you hope their morals
Yeah.
are about.
I was only
It's
thinking earlier,
beautiful
if
they
you
let
if
this
you
happen.
abolished money, what crimes are left apart from physical assault on people? You don't need to rob anymore. You don't need to scam. You don't need to sell at. You
People
don't
trafficking.
Need to, but even that, you know what I mean? What are you getting for it? You know, there's no such thing as money.
Yeah, you're buying people, aren't you? People in power.
No, I'm saying if there was no such thing as money
Yeah,
anymore,
yeah, but people-
what crimes are left? For the
Anything
police?
that gives them power, like the criminal power.
There's kidnapping
yeah.
and there's assault and there's
Yeah.
murder, but apart from that, but that's why law was set up to protect people that couldn't protect themselves.
Yeah.
And stopping me from buying weed is not protecting anybody. You know what I mean?
It's just a hindrance. It's a hindrance.
Yeah.
It's a
That's what
hindrance.
I mean.
do you know
If
what I mean?
we're off in a field, being respectful, being like, right, lads, it's fine somewhere in the middle of nowhere, we'll do our
Yeah.
thing. That's beautiful.
But-
if it's letting it happen.
But for me, I'm one. I believe if it ever becomes legalized, it all needs to be regulated correctly. And
Yeah,
it's like, do you know
the
what I
way
mean?
you
Like-
do it.
And how I tell
Yeah.
people is like, imagine if you bought a bottle of Pinot Grigio and when you drank it, it was a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah.
more.
No,
I'd
for
be
sure,
mortified.
100%.
Like,
that's a
I would-
really good way
Yeah.
to
do you know what I
put it.
mean?
No,
So
definitely.
you need to know what's in this product,
Yeah.
and it needs to
Like,
be
there's no
correct.
consistency in-
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
flour,
You
there's no
see it.
consistency.
Like
Yeah.
the coffee
And-
shops, they're putting it's gelato over everything, and half the shit isn't gelato. It's
Yes. Just name it whatever you want.
Yeah.
They're just, yeah.
So
And
no,
it's- yeah,
right,
There's no
so that's a
consistency.
good
Like
Yeah.
I
way.
haven't got a Gorilla Glue that tastes like Gorilla Glue in 4 or 5 years.
I've
I've seen
only-
it in lots of places.
I've had
but it's not
one
Gorilla
batch
Glue,
of
like,
good
you know what I mean?
Gorilla Glue, and that is it.
Yeah,
just one.
A
the
couple of
best,
years
and
ago,
that was
I got it. There was I don't know if it was everywhere had it or someone was supplying all the shops, but Gorilla Glue like tasted exactly that piney kind of beautiful taste. And then anytime you get it now, it's just a power plant or just a random weed. You know what I mean? They've lost that kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no consistency at all, and that's what you need. I don't know if you
think
could
Well,
get the.
people do it because they go for those people that want to try the different flavors,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
that thing
I
in
think
there.
it's always evolving,
And it's-
but then it will level out. I think you know what I mean. It's
I
still
think
new
once it
where everyone what
becomes-
what else can we get? What else can we get? Then we're like, okay, we've pretty much tried everything. What's good here?
Yeah.
You know
I
what I,
don't
mean?
know
So
the rate that these
Well, Americans are
these
always going
crossbreeds
for
and these
fucking-
genetics are they're hammering them out. Like
Yeah.
that's why you get all these ridiculous, stupid,
But yeah,
bloody
they're-
names
Yeah.
for something, and it's
they're
like,
just
but there are those people,
abominations at
yeah,
this stage. You know what I mean?
and there are these
Mutants.
people that just keep chasing it and chasing
Yeah.
it and chasing it and chasing
And
it.
we're
I need that
losing
new
them.
one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
need that new
Still
fruity pebbles
genetic.
crossed
Yeah.
with cola cubes crossed
Yeah,
with.
with
do
a
you know what I
dash
mean?
of this and a fucking hint of
Shut
that.
up,
You know what I
mate,
mean?
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Are
grow
you
up.
even getting it in that
No.
bag?
No,
Like,
yeah. They just want it for their fucking posts, you know
So
what I mean?
I-
They're just their
yeah, yeah,
stories
I
and shit.
was-
Like it's.
I've watched a couple of documentaries and I've done a little bit of research into it, and there's a lot of people that label their cannabis.
Okay,
so
for sure.
so they'll say it's a Skywalker OG, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it ain't looking, it's not a Skywalker
Yeah,
OG, do you
no,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, there's a lot of it, and so there's been so much crossbreeding in certain strains
Yeah.
that they don't, like, you can say it is a sativa, but it might give you a complete
Yeah,
opposite
that's
effect.
it.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Now, people are just going off
um,
what it kind of tastes like, what it kind of
yeah,
looks like,
and
what it
it's
kind
like-
of smells like.
do you know what I mean? So it's like when people are like, oh, you only just smoke sativa. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you've probably, do you know what I mean? Where it's been so crossbred, mate.
Yeah,
like,
everything's a hybrid,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
everything is a hybrid.
Yeah.
Like,
in this
I
day.
think if any of us really smoked a true, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You say
100%.
Dr. Grinspoon is the only thing that's close to 100%
100%.
sativa. Apart from
if
that,
you do want to get that katsu,
I heard that, yeah.
Katsus are just only.
When I
a
worked in
couple of blocks
Barney's,
over.
it was on their menu because I think they invented Dr. Grinspoon. I think it's their genetics, Barney's. if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was all while I worked there. It was never on the menu, but it was like the most expensive, and it just comes in them tiny little nugs. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's mad little wispy, like it's ugly as hell, but it's proper.
There's
like,
a terrible yield out of it, but it's meant to be the
Yeah.
strongest sativa. Apart from that, everything's a hybrid. You know what I mean? Like,
Or for if you're going for sativa original dampering, beautiful hazes.
I was probably going to head up that way.
Yeah.
Literally, I was going to
Ulster
stop
haze.
dampering, Joker,
yeah.
train
No,
station
any
home.
of their hazes is beautiful.
Very. He said he comes to
Levels,
Joker every time he
Mexican.
snaps.
No way.
So
Yeah.
it's like
It's a
one.
beautiful
It's
shop,
one of my
though.
favourite
Yeah.
coffee shops.
He
in the
met
world.
Saucy Whiffs in the Joker, and I only met him
Yeah.
today though.
But you had met him before.
No, you ran into him in
So
the-
basically, I
Oh,
was.
I meant like
I
years
was-
ago. I was
No,
like,
the-
I
whoa.
just came over for 24 hours. Every now and again, I just literally
Yeah.
just hop over, come and
Yeah.
chill out, and I'll do it on my own. Do you know what I mean?
Nice,
And
just go on
that
your
way,
phone.
you just sit down, you chat
Chat
to
to
people,
cunts, yeah.
and it leads me to do great things like this. So I was just so I go in there, sit down, chat with the person behind, sit there. Sometimes listen to music, read. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
so,
banging
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
no,
nice.
for sure.
It's nice to take a bit of time
Oh,
for
yeah.
myself. And it's just for me, it's easy, convenient to get to. I know where it is. There used to
Yeah.
be a bloody cash point, like a little bit. They've just taken it out. That really annoys me. There's an Irish bar in the corner a bit
Temple
further up,
Bar,
which I
yeah.
go and watch football
You
in.
can
Do
smoke
you know
in the
what I
terrace
mean?
when you used to be able to. I don't know if you still can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just my little hot
Square,
spot.
yeah,
It's just-
nice.
and
It's
then
mad-
when-
I must have
Yeah.
seen you before then.
That's like
100%,
our area.
yeah.
Like,
Honestly,
yeah.
there was one point I used to come over here like every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And just if we book it up far in advance.
You get it.
Oh yeah, it's
You
big.
can get it nice
Especially with
and cheap.
Ryanair in Ireland, like it's fucking, you get a 25 euro or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dirt
I think when I
cheap.
moved over here, a one-way ticket was 25 quid. I forgot to check in, so I had to pay 50 at the gate. But it was 25 quid originally. It's my own
That's where
fault.
they get you,
Yeah,
right
oh,
there. That's
man,
where
stop.
they get you.
With my own stupidity, you know what I mean? Do you know what? I'd been in Australia, I'd been travelling like proper airlines for so long that you didn't need to do this. You actually just rocked up and they give you a ticket. I came home, forgot all about these cheap ass Ryanair where it's like, oh no, we're going to charge you for everything, you know what I mean? So forgot all about checking in, and that was it. Yeah, so.
Changed.
I do have a
That's
quick
the
question
thing.
for you. It's a little bit off topic, but it goes to Amsterdam and coffee shops.
Yeah.
And obviously, you work in a coffee shop will know this, right? So the cannabis that comes through the front door,
Yeah.
why do the police not regulate, or the government regulate companies or growers?
Well, that's what they're doing at the moment. Have
Is
you heard
that-
about the experiment?
So what's the process?
So
What's
there's
going
a
on with that?
At the
new
moment-
experiment that's come in that they have, like it's basically in most of the coffee shops down south.
They've 10 cities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they've set up like large government legal grows.
Yeah, they've
So
given
they brought in
10 growers to across 10
and
cities.
investors and all that to come in and do it on like a large scale.
Yeah.
But
So for the next
Will-
4
Do you
years.
think, will that be a good thing?
Well, I said
I'm so against
she
it.
doesn't think it's gonna
More
work.
because it's the same way. See the way you work, your quality, your precision. If it's on a large scale, I'm hearing people getting shit weed. They're getting seeds in their stuff. If it's so lab tested and all of that, you shouldn't be getting.
Yeah, the
these
people
seeds
regulating
and
it don't
all
know
that.
what they're looking at. Do
They
you know what I
don't
mean? So
understand
this is the problem.
cannabis. So they've brought in a load of growers, but then after that, it goes to people in lab coats, and they
Yeah.
don't smoke.
Which
they
is why I
don't
was
consume,
saying
they don't
earlier,
understand.
I don't know anyone that works in the professional cannabis industry in the UK
No.
because I don't believe they're stoners. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they are
that's it.
chemists.
Yeah,
they are
the botanists,
the
and fucking
lobotomists.
botany.
Do you know-
Which
yeah.
honestly, thank you guys for being ballsy enough to, even if you're not in that league, to
Yeah.
go and be like, okay, I want to try understand
Yeah.
it. Thank you for going and doing
Doing
that
it,
part.
yeah, of course,
You
and
should be
using your
giving it to people.
education and your
Yes,
knowledge to help.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
we
great.
appreciate that, but as it comes to the actual product and what we're getting, we don't want the science lab
Yeah.
shit.
Well,
I
they can,
want-
they can work together. Have
Yeah,
them
they-
people there
they-
to work with
I-
the people like
absolutely
you or the
need to
growers
work,
that
yeah.
know what they're
Yeah.
doing and go,
We
right.
need to work in a good harmony.
You
Do
know
what I
the
mean?
science
Yeah.
side, I know the weed side. Let's work
Yeah.
together. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
and,
so for
no,
that,
100%.
but I don't want to be consuming what they're trialing and testing.
Yeah.
What I would love is let them go with this like whole trial and test, but give licenses to craft growers, to craft edible makers, because they're within these like facilities, they're producing the flour, the hash, edibles, everything. I don't think you can do
Yeah.
that.
No, it's
You
too
know
much.
what I mean? Not
Yeah.
in under one
But
facility.
I also think with Germany now, the 4-year trial will be shut down after 2 years because they're like, what the hell are we doing here? You know what I
It
mean? Like,
is,
what
it's
are
a
we
waste of
trialing it
money.
for? You know what I mean?
Just
It's
let the small people
our big
do.
neighbours have
Yeah.
just fully legalised, and they're booming like in 2 years' time, I'm hoping. And they're like, and we're still here trialing something we've had for 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, it works. Stop trialing it. You know what I mean? Just
It's bizarre, isn't it?
yeah.
It's so bizarre.
But it is hard to figure out how to. You know what I mean? I know it's the craft and all,
No,
but
absolutely.
to make it from that illegal to legal, and to try and, because every fucker that was in the illegal side want to jump on, so you can't let them all in. You know what I mean? Because there is cunts that aren't doing it right and
but
all
it's
this.
the
So
same as you said about if they'll come by and test, come check the kitchen, make sure it's
Yeah.
up to standards. Same as with the growers. Okay, you're not running off the electricity. You're not doing
or
these
even if you
things, it's
make
safe,
your stuff and
it's
you can send it into government, and if they pass it, they forward it on or whatever. You know what I mean?
beautiful,
Like, yeah,
absolutely.
that's
But I think it should be left on a smaller scale
yeah.
to then
Well,
these big mad.
At the same time,
there
once it
are a
gets
lot
legal,
of people.
there's a lot of people.
There's a
Well,
lot
I'm
of people.
sorry
Oh, there
for
are
you,
days I
Frankie.
struggle.
Yeah.
I struggle.
Yes,
There's a.
But that's because the growers and the other people, they're doing it under these stressful
Yeah.
pretenses. They're paranoid, the sketch. They can't just set up a beautiful greenhouse.
Yeah.
And just like, actually, I'm going to buy a plot of land and set
But
up
it's
my
like
place.
it's like buying
I
local
think if-
veg and all. It is, a lot of people do it, but a lot of people just need that mass produced stuff that's quick, ready, cheaper. You know what I mean? It's
I think
you'll
it
need
can
both.
be.
You will need both.
Yeah.
I
There's
think
too
if
many.
growers-
I hear what you're
supply.
saying. Yeah, there's too much supply.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Think of it even like alcohol. There's going to have to be the Budweiser and the Heinekens, but then there's plenty of craft, especially these days.
Yeah.
There's plenty of small craft companies, and
Yeah.
both of them are doing well. You know what I mean? So if it's legal and there is that mass-produced stuff, and if people think it's all right and it gets them by and they do it, then because it's legal, the other people can still grow and to an extent. So if it
Yeah.
is where they can either through the government or just supply to the shops themselves,
Absolutely.
there will be that
Yeah.
mass-produced stuff and the homegrown stuff. It has to go that way. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
it's.
hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Like, you can't
Like, let them-
make it legal and then suddenly clamp down on the people that know what they're doing. You know what I mean? If it's legal, it's legal for everyone.
Kind of like what they do a lot of
But if
times.
it's legal, it's legal for everyone.
That sounds like history on
it can't just be
motherfucking
legal for the
repeat,
people
man.
who want to start up or people
I
that are,
I've
you know what I
heard
mean?
that in
It's,
so many different forms. We can, but yous can't.
Yeah.
Fuck yous, you're getting taxed.
no, of course,
And
and
we're
there
gonna
will
live
there,
off
there will
it.
still be
I think I've heard that.
a bias for their own and all. You know what I mean? But
100%, and let them have it, write their
Yeah.
taxes. But if they let the people just be like, okay, you can calmly and peacefully, without feeling like a criminal, grow and produce cannabis infused products. Beautiful.
I think all they have to do is legalise it and then put a cap. Like, I can't have a mass brewery in my house for legal reasons.
But
So
that's what I mean. If
I
they
can have a
come
few
and check
plants,
it.
like 20
Yeah.
plants or whatever, you know what I mean? But if someone goes, oh, I'm going to turn this football pitch out my back into
Yeah.
weed, you know what I mean? Maybe that's too much, you know what I mean?
But
Or
again, that's exactly what I've said. Is if they come and they check,
yeah,
okay, this is up to standard.
again, once it's
fine.
legal, I don't see how that wouldn't be
Yeah.
the natural
Well, that's
progression.
what
You
I'm
know what I mean?
hoping.
Because
more just on Amsterdam's terms, because like everywhere's going to be doing it different. Just because where we are,
yeah.
they're doing it in an absolute
Well,
backwards
If
way.
the people are doing it now, we're getting away with it. They're not going to be in more trouble once it's legalised. You know what I mean? It can't. You know what I mean? So it's maybe they might again be straight in the door to supply, but they'll still have their black market evenly. You know what I mean? Because
100%,
at the start, the mass produced stuff isn't going to be the greatest. So it'll be black market until they try and catch up. And if the government do catch up, then it will go the other way. You know what I mean?
I have a cousin from Canada, and she says the black market's still thriving.
Yeah,
for
every
cannabis.
American and Canadian I talk to
100%,
is black market
because
still.
it's
You know
all
what I mean?
mass-produced shit that's
But-
going through. We get left with their
But
leftovers.
do you know what it
to
is? It's the
Amsterdam.
stoners like us that are black market. It's the regular people that don't care about weed that are going to dispensaries. They buy the mass produced stuff. They don't care.
Yeah, but they
It's us that
should,
want the no. But their
because
stuff.
it's
Their stuff
their
isn't
health
bad.
and- No, well,
In the dispensaries in America and Canada, the stuff wouldn't be bad. Here they're just learning, but over there,
there's loads of reports.
every now and again, stuff
There's
gets.
loads of reports coming back of all the dispensaries. Well, not all of them. That was an absolute do. Of a lot of the dispensaries in the USA with a lot of pesticides and all sorts and sprays.
There was one in High Times magazine
Yeah.
the other
Oh,
week
yeah.
about a load of vapes
But it-
that
yeah,
had
So, there you
stuff in
go.
it.
Yeah, but just every week you'll see a new restaurant that was done for violations, a new bar that was done for violations. How many restaurants have like cockroaches and all this bullshit?
No,
That-
100%.
you know what I mean?
But that
That's
needs
it.
to be cleaned up.
But this is the world we live in. There will always be people that aren't doing it the best that will get it, and
100%.
suddenly
But
the
they're
news will be like,
people-
look, these are bad. But that was one
Yeah.
out of thousands of dispensaries. And
100%.
so again, most of them are doing it well, but they're the ones for the normal people who don't care about the flavour. They just want a bit of weed, something to get them off. That's what the government mass-produced stuff is for. The homegrown, the black market or the craft growers will be what we want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that will always be there. The black market will always be there if the craft growers aren't. So either way will always be, you know what I mean? And even if it's legalised, them craft growers can, even if they're
See,
not
I'd
doing it
love
in
to
shops, they
not-
can still
It's just
grow
good, I think
easier.
it's just good to have the option. Do you know what I mean? It's good
Yeah.
to have the
I
option.
just
And
love the
there's
growers to be able to do it calmly. and
Yeah, no,
enjoy it
again, once you
and feel
legalise
like
it, I
just
don't see how they
gardeners.
can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whether they're allowed into shops or not, they'll be allowed to grow, you know what I mean? Or they'll be allowed to...
Yeah,
You've
if
been
they
getting-
can, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think they're just worried. Definitely in Britain, I think is there going to be more people that are, growing it and selling to their friends rather than them absolutely taking every bit of penny tax that they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for me. I believe it will legalise, but I believe they're working hard.
Yeah.
Whoever in the background is that. When it goes live, there is a system where there's a high barrier of monetary entry. So, like, if I want to set my own shop up, so I'm going to have like 50k in the
Yeah.
bank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
You
I
need
think there's going to be this
investors,
thing
yeah.
that it will
they'll
only
get their
be
money some
available.
way, yeah.
It will only be available to the rich, to
Fancies,
Yeah.
the big pharmacies and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
Which is what the
yeah.
thing is here. It's all they selected growers, but you needed investors.
Yeah.
So that was what irked me. Is that like there was a lot of people that fucking love
But without
cannabis.
investors, you need money. You know what I mean? It has to come from somewhere.
But why do you have to do it on such a massive scale and then grow shit? Why not let people do it on a smaller scale?
Because
check
they're
all
trying
the
to,
things and make
for
beautiful
the
It's-
for the experiment, you have to keep it constantly supplied. On a small scale, you can't do that. They have to scale up. This is where they're trying to learn how
See,
to.
I think it's they don't understand how many growers there actually are.
do you think it's more damaging for products
Yeah.
in general when they scale up?
Yeah, and I think it's going to give cannabis a really bad name. To people that haven't consumed and are trusting the government, so they go and buy this because they never bought it before, but it now has a red bag on it.
And it's
They're
from
gonna get
the
a
shop that the
bad
government
name.
says
Yeah.
that they
and
can get it from.
says
Yeah.
everything. Like people have been, they have the THC percentage on the side of the packets. It's a fucking plant. One tomato doesn't have a certain amount of this. It's the same on that side of the
Yeah.
tree.
Depends on weight, depends on
You
size.
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
What bit of the sun it was getting? It's a plant, guys. Fuck off with your THC percentage.
But that's why I've seen
I
people
can
test the
understand,
government ones and they were different
and
and
it's
all. Like,
off.
yeah,
That I'm like, I can't.
yeah.
I'd rather someone being like, I don't know what the THC percentage is, but I know absolutely everything that went through that plant, and it has been cared and taken,
Yeah.
minded. And these are my babies, and I'm like, I want to smoke that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I want
But
to
see,
smoke.
that again. That's what the
That's
craft is
cannabis.
for. But
Exactly.
that's the type of people who go to fancy restaurants or go to
Fuck
boutique.
that. Do I
no,
look like a
no,
fancy
no. I'm telling you,
restaurant
the
cunt?
equivalent. People who go for their
Bullshit.
fancy food, their fancy this. You want your people go to the like.
Darling,
what-
I'd sit on a bench and eat a
but
sandwich.
no,
I'm not fancy.
I'm not talking in your weeds. You want it right.
No.
Other people don't care. Some people don't care about how their food is made. Some people don't care about how their drinks made. Other people do.
Yeah.
But imagine
This is
if
what I'm
you
saying.
could, if everyone could just be getting decent quality stuff.
But you can
at
say that about
good
every product in the
prices.
world.
Yeah, you could. But every product has already been selling legally all the time. We now have a chance to do something different and be different than the rest of the bollocks that they sell. Give cannabis a different name.
Yeah, I still don't think you could supply the whole country with these craft people.
We have been.
Not when it goes legal and suddenly everyone that
It
didn't.
has been.
How many people have you heard about once it went legal, like, oh, I can do this now, and have went and done it? That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Once it goes legal, people are actually going to try it. So suddenly you've got more people going out and doing
Okay,
it.
think of it in this way, right? If I was to sell my products in the Jolly Joker, I reckon by 1:30, I couldn't keep up. I'd be done. Like,
Yeah.
it would be like
But
I'd.
imagine if you could then open up a full-scale kitchen.
But
and
then you'd
come
have to
me
scale
and
up.
buy-
Then I'm scaling up.
Yeah, but not to the government level. I mean to just an actual bakery style.
But
when-
scale
but when-
up, whether the government do it
When
or
does
whether
it? When does
someone-
it stop? When it's down to the individual at the end
But
of the
if
day.
there's
Do you know what I
more
mean?
people being
Do I
able
want
to do it,
to?
then
What
there's-
point does? And a lot of people will change over time as well.
Yeah.
The world changes.
100%.
And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but, you know, what happens if, you know, I do get a shop, all of a sudden I get 2. All of a sudden, I've got 6 figures in my bank. And if I open another 2, I could double my money now. There. Now, all of a sudden, I'm like,
Your government.
But
No,
again,
no.
but
Once
I'm
your
now
morals
with my
don't
moral.
change.
But now my morals are going.
Once your
How am I
morals don't
supposed to
change.
now
You
Keep
can
the
make
same
as much
the
standard.
same
money-
standard across 4? So there comes to
Yeah.
this point of you're going to have to hit a block road. Some people are going to go one
And
way,
that's
and
based
others are
on
going to
your
go the
morals.
others.
That's based on your morals. Do as you
Yeah.
please, dudes. But that's based on your morals.
No, of course.
Absolutely. But I'd rather you go up than them come in.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I
Yeah.
think we need both.
Yeah.
I think to supply
I don't
the
think
countries.
so, lads. We've been doing it all this time without them. And they've been putting pressure on us to not be doing it. And we've been fucking managing fine.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but in other
We
countries,
don't need
in Ireland,
man.
let's say, for example.
We don't need man.
But for example, in Ireland, if tomorrow they
Man.
legalise it,
Oh, could you imagine?
but like, there's no
If
suppliers.
we-
Who's going to grow it?
Bullshit, man. Bullshit. If it became legal in Ireland, the amount of cunts that would be like, yeah, actually, lads.
So
your
do you think
argument's
there's
fine.
enough illegal growers or craft growers in Ireland to supply
Absolutely.
Ireland on a good standard?
Once they get comfortable, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, they've been shipping in and out all the time.
I
that
don't think
happens
so.
too.
There's not.
No.
I get a lot of people from Ireland
Yeah,
that
a lot
ask
gets
me for
from-
stuff,
Yeah,
and
man,
I
good.
don't send to Ireland.
Yeah.
And someone today messaged me and was like, "I know you're away. Apologise for messaging." He's like, "My friend from Ireland wants something." I was like, "Whereabouts is he? North or south?" He's like, "He's south, but he lives 10 minutes from the border." He was like, I can get stuff like sent to there. Anyway,
Yeah.
cut long story short, he was like, I only want some weed. He was someone tried charging him £80 for 3.5.
Yeah, weed in Ireland's mental, man.
£80 for
Yeah,
like what's
it was
going
400
on?
an ounce when I left. Yeah, crazy.
Sorry?
400 an ounce when I left.
Not for me.
400
Yeah.
ounce.
But this is the
If you
thing,
got it for
it's-
350, it was somebody's
well,
homegrown
it's
or uncle done it.
because people don't have contacts and connections, and because they are afraid to ask anyone, "Hey, I smoke cannabis."
But most of the
hey,
stuff in
I
Ireland's
wanna-
not grown in Ireland.
No, absolutely.
But that's what we were just saying. What
But
if they
once
legalise
it-
tomorrow? Who's grown? Who's supplying
Ireland
the shops?
is one of the best climates in the world.
Yeah, but-
for
What's the
growing.
community like there? Is there a good
Big.
community?
Lot of
Is in
stuff.
what, like?
A cannabis community?
Yeah, there is a
Like,
lot.
you
Yeah, no,
sit
for sure.
outside
Yeah,
that,
definitely. 100%.
So that's the thing. It's getting big. Once people, even once I left, I found this girl
I find that quite
Instagram.
alarming. The price,
Oh, man, it's
price,
crazy.
but also
It's-
because if there must be a demand there because people wouldn't
Yeah.
reach out in.
Oh, no, that's-
like for me, like
Yeah.
that's desperate. I couldn't. I'm not paying £80 for it. Like now, I travel
Yeah,
like quite a
that's-
lot. I'll spend on certain things in life. Like I'll
Yeah.
get a business class seat,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't spend £80 on 3.5 grams of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there are levels to my. Do you know,
Yeah.
I can spend money. I can be tight, but there are limits. I
Yeah.
know worth.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't believe
100%,
3.5 is
yeah.
worth, but I can't just like.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
sorry.
it's mad.
I feel a little bit
crazy
sorry.
money
I
over
don't
there.
think people shouldn't be paying that. That's
Yeah.
diabolical.
And
Like, it
when I-
pains me to hear that.
When I was paying 400 an ounce, it was shit haze. That's all I got. There was no choice. It was like,
But
there's your
see,
weed.
it's again, it's options. I didn't
What?
pay that price or didn't smoke that shit.
Wait, what were you getting?
But like, I don't know the names.
Okay,
of the
you weren't
stuff
getting names, so
because
that's- yeah.
You were, but it
Okay.
wasn't that.
Okay,
You
I
know
never-
What I mean, same as an
We
ounce
never
of
got
that
names.
stuff.
We just said, there's your weed. 2.5 ounce an
I
ounce. There you
bought
go.
that.
Like,
I bought 3.5 for 50s. Them 100%. That was a normal deal. If you couldn't get, like, if your man hadn't got your stock, you
Yeah.
were buying 3.5 for 50s. 100%. Got loads of them.
man, I used to
Ripped
travel
up
all over
bags.
Dublin. I couldn't find 3.5
But
for
now,
50.
When
over
I
the
f-
last while, there's menus, there's everything.
Yeah.
when I
When
first
left,
started getting
there's
into
a girl
smoking,
back there that's growing and a hash maker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So it's more, it's because we couldn't go and speak about it openly in the pubs.
Yeah.
We couldn't be like, here I blaze, what you do. Oh yeah, actually I smoke hash too, I grow. You can't speak on it.
Yeah.
Once they get the word and it's on RT and BBC that you're allowed to smoke cannabis, people will talk on it.
Oh,
And I
100%.
think once then, if they're allowed to start growing at home themselves, which they might feel safer with,
Yeah.
then they won't need to go and get.
But I still
And
don't
if
think they
have
could supply Ireland because Ireland are like, you know, the way we drink, the way we consume all kinds of drugs.
100%.
I don't
but I'd
think
rather
craft
start
people could
off.
come close to keeping the supply of a high standard.
I don't know, man. I think so. You
I
guys
think they'd
are
have to
good.
scale up to the point
because
where
even
it's.
the farmers, all over the west of Ireland, the farmers, because they I don't know what it's been going on, but like the way the fruit and veg was getting imported, a load of them turned to hemp.
Yeah.
There is fucking hemp farmers all over the west of Ireland. You don't
Yeah.
think them cunts aren't going to
No,
be like,
again, but
"Lads, we
to
can make
the
a bit
standard
more
where
quid
you're
off
getting
that."
your nice, perfectly grown
Before-
weed, you know what I mean? They don't know what they're doing.
100%. But you don't think that there's some guy that's been growing in his little garage isn't going to go to these big farmers with a load of land that's been growing hemp and say, "Here, lads, I have an idea for you. I know how to grow cannabis. You have the space. Let's work together."
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
fucking
But I still think
If
at
you
the end of the day
take
we
that
need a
manual
government,
way,
not government supply,
yeah.
a mass supply. The government
But
government
there
don't make
you go.
Coca-Cola. The government don't make Mars bars.
Darling, they sit in their office and sit in suits. There's cunts that work
Oh,
that make this stuff.
Well,
like the
once you scale up
farmers
all
and
these
all
farms
that.
in Ireland, the people that own it are going to be sitting in offices doing what these people are doing.
No, they're going to be there farming the land.
Not the people that own it. Thank you. Not the people that own it.
Yeah.
Do you,
If it
do you
starts
think
off-
if suddenly these people who are breaking their back for years have millions in the bank, they're going to be still out on that farm every day? Bollocks.
No. But what are they? They're not in government. You don't officially get I'm a TD.
But there's no such thing
today
as in
now.
government. You're talking about politicians. Politicians
No.
aren't growing weed. Who's
I'm
government
not
then?
I'm talking about a farmer
Yeah.
that grows a load of hemp.
But
And
like
there's some cannabis grower that is growing illegally in some small
but
scale.
every
but
product
grow-
in Albert Heijn is not none of that's grown by the government.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
know.
grown by and then the government gives an approval. That's government grown.
Yeah. Why
That's the
do-
exact same what weed will be.
But so why is what I'm saying not?
I'm just
okay?
saying because I'm saying you'll need a mass-produced people to keep the supply
But
going.
that's what I've just said. Is there's a farmer with a fuckload of land, and now a grower comes in and says, "Hey, let's switch it to cannabis."
And then the government will have to approve it. That's the same.
Fine, let them put their
But that's
fucking
government
stamp
growth.
on it.
That's exactly what mass-produced stuff is.
No, there's a difference between these two cunts coming together and starting up,
Yeah.
or these guys coming in like, "Hi, all you guys in white
Like-
suits and ties,
like
fund us."
Holly
that
Graham.
don't know anything
Well,
about
Holly Graham
cannabis.
runs their thing, and then they send it to the government,
And
and they're
without
meant.
being bad, look what's coming out of it.
But that was not their one. That was a different one. But again,
All of it, I'm hearing bad reports.
I've heard. Like most stuff I've seen was decent enough. I haven't heard too many bad reports, or maybe you have. But like
not
overall, it was decent enough and like nice flavour, nice growing. You know what I mean? So again, it's called an experiment because these are trying to get up and running and learn how to do it. They've never done it on a large scale, so they have to learn how to do it. Maybe the first one's a bust. In 2 or 3 years, they could be growing some of the best weed in the world. That's why it's an experiment. That's why you have to give them time.
100%.
You know what I mean? The government aren't doing it. The government are just.
I don't get why they get to have a go while everyone else is still criminals.
It's not the government doing it. It's they gave the license to normal
I
people.
know that, darling.
So who's they?
But the holograms, why it's been given that there's
There was a
a
lottery
load
of like hundreds.
legal grows, hundreds, whatever number it is, I don't care who's growing it, but there's a load of people legally growing while there's still people deemed as criminals.
Yeah, it's an experiment to try and get them
disgusting.
out of being called criminals.
Yes, but if you're going to do that, it should be fucking free for all.
But that's
Everyone
not
should
that.
go the way the Germans have done it.
Okay,
The
but
way
the reason it's
Amsterdam
called an experiment is to see if it works. That's all they're doing.
No, they're seeing how much money they can fucking make.
Everything
off it
they're
and
trying
can
to
they
see. If it
sustain
works, can they do it? Can they make money off it? Everything they're trying to find. That's what the experiment is.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like. I'd rather us people doing it than
But they are us people.
You want passionate people.
people that.
But you won't
actually-
get that in
want
every
people-
business, no
yeah.
matter where you are.
That's life, isn't it? Unfortunately, there are going to be people there
100%.
just to take a paycheck.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, but I think we have a chance to not get rode up the arse. You know
Again,
what
I think
mean?
you're underestimating how much demand there is on for everything, food, weeds, drinks, everything. That there's going to be places that fall short. There's going to be places that are doing amazing. There's going to be places that are passionate. There's going to be places that aren't, and that's going to be the same in the weed world.
Yeah.
That's it. There's going to be the
I
good, the bad, and the
understand
different.
that.
That's
But I'd
it.
rather our people fuck up than us waiting on these to give us our shit. Fuck off, man. We've been doing it ourselves this whole time.
But the people that are
I'm
doing
not
the,
changing my views.
I'm not saying they are. I'm
Let's
just saying the
move
people
on.
that are
This
doing.
podcast, I'd say people are like, well, they should.
Well, I have to go to work in like 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up
Yeah.
here because
That's
we've
all
been going for a
good.
while.
That's
I'm
all good.
set.
Mr. Fudge, thank you so much for coming on.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so
legend.
much,
Thank you so
guys.
much for the edibles.
You're
No,
welcome,
really, and
you're
your
welcome.
Passion, everything, keep
Yeah.
it up. It's beautiful.
No
I mean
problem.
it.
Are you coming down to Joker later for a joint
Yes,
as well?
mate. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
So
going to head
continue there.
to Damp Creek
Pick up
shortly.
some weed.
Yeah, I'll go there and then finish up in.
Yeah,
Joker.
perfect. I'll see you down
and
there.
then, I'll shoot
And,
home.
Nice flow through
and
the Netherlands.
Big thanks to the Faded Fairy, as always.
Back.
And yeah, hopefully we're going to get the studio done up a bit better, but we're hopefully back now in the regular, so yeah, from now on we should have a few more guests lined up and that. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
See you later.